This is T.Y. Jackson.
United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green.
How you doing, people?
And I love pro wrestling.
I love pro wrestling.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to the Brunch Clinic. I am Lawrence Kurtze. We are live. Another big week in wrestling, as yesterday was AEW Wrestle Dream.
Hi, I'm Maxine Dupree.
And I'm Otis.
Hi, I'm the sweetest Pete, Christara.
Mars, the specialist.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And we
love wrestling.
Bottoms up, brains on. Welcome to Quizplex here on Love Wrestling, your pro wrestling trivia charity show. My name is Zach Ralph. I will be your host.
This is God's gift to wrestling, Michael Richard Blaze.
Yeah, we are the Usos.
This is Rachel Ellering.
And we love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Hello,
Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means.
Well, you better know by now. It's episode 235 of this thing.
I guarantee you there's like an 85% chance that's not an accurate number.
Hi, this is Shaz McKenzie.
This is Big Bad Boris.
This is the Rhinestone Cowboy, Stephen Crow.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
If you're here, thanks for being here. It's for Exposure, Love Wrestling's Independent Weekend podcast, where we break down all the best happenings of the world of the independent wrestling side.
I'm Penta, I'm wrestling, and what?
Liza Hall.
I'm the alternative Anthony Green.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling. I love wrestling. And you know what? Penta Cero.
That's called scanning, kids. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is time for a excitingly fun, I hope, episode of Saturday Night Love. My name is Big Bad Boris.
I'm Big Ben Ortmans.
Hi, this is Smiley Patty Ray.
I'm Sky.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Of course.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost!
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
Very good, boss.
Hey! The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means.
It's Oliver's birthday. It's my son's 11th birthday today. Hopefully you're watching. I know you're 11. Watching. If you're not watching, you're grounded. Happy birthday, son.
11 years old. The old
11
hockey
today.
sticks.
Yeah, like
right.
Sticks himself. Struck out 5 yesterday in baseball.
Wow.
And housed an entire lobster today for dinner because that's what he wanted for dinner. And
quite the request for an 11-year-old.
That's what I was like.
Lobster.
I go, anything you want, bud. And he's like, I want to eat an entire lobster. And I was like, okay, so we're doing it. So happy birthday, bud. Enjoy all your toys upstairs and have a good one. You're the man, the myth, the legend.
Look at that. Starting off with birthday wishes. Happy birthday to Oliver. 11 years old.
11 years old. And you know what else it means? The New York Knicks are the NBA Finals.
You know, blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes, you know.
I am so excited to break down the top 10 greatest Knicks of all time. I can't wait to talk about their run. The power of Danhausen. I know Graham, our guest, is excited as well. I think he's got a list of Knicks that he loves and he's excited to talk about as well. But that's the only reason that he decided to join us, by the way, was because we're talking New York Knicks.
I had no idea that we were going to be talking about the New York Knicks. I forgot about the New York Knicks. I forgot about the East the second my Celtics were eliminated. I think the NBA championship series is currently happening in the Western side of things. And the Knicks will be lucky to win one game in the finals against either of those teams. Most likely the Thunder, sadly. What a terrible finals for the NBA. You have the Thunder, who, even though they're great, they're like, I don't know, not exciting at all. Even though they're great, because their player just goes to the free throw line 90 times a game because that's all he fucking does. Great player. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be an idiot and say he's a bad player, but there's nothing exciting about them. And then you, on the other hand, now great for the media market on the other hand, because New York City, but you get the trash-ass Knicks with Mike Brown. Mike Brown is their coach. Are you kidding me? In the NBA Finals. Unbelievable, dude. It's just bad, you know? New York's good for the league. It's better when the Knicks are good. It's better when the Knicks are good because New York is a good market. You want the team. But Scott said it best. They played 3 AAU teams to get to the finals. It's a joke. The East, there was one good team, and their coach, even though he won Coach of the Year 2 days ago, should be fired because he's the reason we lost, and we should be in the finals. But anyway, I digress.
Do you want me to bring on our guest so we can reset this thing?
Oh, I'm fine. You're the one that brought up the Knicks. Danhausen, I love you, but what the hell, pal?
It's the Miz's fault. We'll talk about it. It's really on the Miz is why we're here. But
the Cavs weren't going to win anyway. They have James Harden. They weren't going to do shit. Why you got to curse them? It's not fair. Anyway.
Well,
I'm excited about our guest tonight. Even
I was going to say.
You've tried to make me sour. You've tried to make me sour.
Don't you dare be sour because he is available on a rare Thursday. We are very excited to have him. Have him. I call him Grant out of love, but he's really his name is Graham of Wrestle Rant. We're so excited to have him back. Bring on the Knicks talk.
What's going on, guys? Great to see you both. Thanks for having me, first of all. Second of all, listen, PLUGGO, we talked about it over chat, but the only reason I'm here on this Thursday was because the Knicks won. That's it. I could have come on any Thursday, but really that was why we're here today, and the timing could not have worked out any better.
You know? You're in the finals. All right, good for you. First time in forever because you're a trash bag organization.
1999, right?
Yeah,
99.
Yeah. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Great. All right, good for you. You're going to get blitzed by either one of the teams in the West.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like the Celtics would have had the same fate.
Listen.
I feel like the Celtics would have had the same fate, but it's it.
Breaks. Breaks.
If it's the Thunder, it goes 5 max. If it's the Spurs, I think the Knicks could take them to 6, maybe 7.
This series, I mean, they're playing right now. The Thunder and the Spurs are playing at 8:30. Actually, I think so. If it goes 7 and the Knicks get like 10 days of rest and they just beat the crap out, anything's possible.
But here's my thing: is that now? It's always good to like rest the bones. Yes, feeling fresh. But you saw it in the NHL, and I know you're not. I'm not a huge fan, but like the Carolina Hurricanes had 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
And they fucking murdered by the Canadians in game 1, 6-2, and then they're going to win 4 straight and they're in the finals. So I could see the Knicks with the rest. I could actually see that as a disadvantage, even though these teams are beating the crap out of each other, especially if it goes 7. That, yes, you're getting your body healthy, but you're also getting rusty. Not
sure.
Again, you know, these guys
I completely agree.
Every other night. You know,
sure,
what I mean?
For sure. But I will say this has been a very physical Western Conference finals, and And listen, the Thunder don't have J-Dub. They don't have Mitchell right now.
That is fair.
So
that is fair.
We'll see. It isn't the. But as two guys from that neck of the woods, you're from New York. It's got to be
Connecticut.
I'm a Connecticut guy. The funny
so
thing
he's in the
is-
middle. He's in the middle of
I
all
was
of
going to
them.
say it's got to be a popping up there in terms of excitement.
Half the state is aligned one way, the other half is aligned the other.
I'm only aligned with whatever way the wind blows that day, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm a Celtics guy through and through. I mean, obviously, I went to school in Mass. We all saw, I think, well, I was last here, I think in September, last on the show, but I saw you guys at Bound for Glory in Mass.
Yeah.
So, listen, my heart goes out to the Celtics, obviously, but if the Knicks are doing well, I can't complain. First time in 50 years they could win a title. I can't complain about that. That's a W.
Listen, Jalen Brunson's a dog, man. I respect the hell out of it. I like him a lot. He's clutch as hell. Like, he's a player I like. Cat, soft as puppy poo. I don't care about that guy. You're 7 feet tall and like 280. Go play center. Stop hitting around the three-point line. Do something with your body, for crying out loud. It's the way the game's played, I get it. But yeah. Listen,
if you want more of these rants, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Feel free to drop a super chat. We need to get some likes up, fellas, fam.
Yes, we
ladies,
do. Yes,
gentlemen,
we do.
Smash that like button. Graham,
yes, we do.
We're so happy to have you back, bud.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me back on. Always great to be back here on the show on a rare Thursday, and I'm glad the schedules could align to make this happen, especially in light of all the events that we had this past weekend. Clash in Italy this weekend. There's no shortage of topics to talk about. So
you picked a good weekend.
He was like, "Hey, Grant's available," because we kind of booked this a little early on, so we were like, "Hey, not this week, but next week." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And I was like, "Well, there's basically two." There's one big pay-per-view and one, whatever you want to call, special. I don't know. And then we're going to be building to a next one. So there's going to be a ton
lowercase
to talk about,
PLE.
Well, Pluggo, you were in the building.
Is that what
I was in the building. You made the drive down to Fort Wayne, Indiana for Saturday night's main event. So we can start there. We can, not get it out of the way, but we can start because Double or Nothing. Yeah, Double or Nothing is going to have a lot of meat, and then
there wasn't a lot of. There wasn't a lot of exciting things that happened at the.
Here's what I'll say.
Saturday night's main event.
The two things that stuck out to me watching from home was I actually thought the show was enjoyable for the most part. I thought it focused on the wrestling, which was good. All the other stuff, the ads and all that stuff were still there, but it felt less to me. And then the one thing that I actually, and I get it, it's advancing a story to this Sunday, and it's weird when you run into this where we're getting a Saturday night's main event 8 days before a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the Becky Lynch Sol Ruca angle. I would have been very upset in the arena because that was the match I was looking. And I know we're getting it on Sunday, but that was the match even on TV, but especially if I was going, that was the match I was looking forward to the most. And I thought that the fans there got hosed with that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I'm a Becky Lynch stan. So just to circle back real quick, Mrs. Pluggo bought me a ticket, I think on Monday morning, because I was still kind of like, do I really want to make the trip? Can I afford it? Blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff. I'm a dad. Is there anything sporting wise going on with the kids? Because I won't miss stuff like that for things. I'll go to that, especially since I coach.
Good dad. Good dad.
I try to be, man. It makes it tough, but the summers are crazy. But so the stars kind of aligned, right? So she buys me a ticket, and I'm sitting there watching Monday Night Raw, and they announced Sol versus Becky, and I texted our buddy DC Hendricks, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude, Becky," because he likes Becky. We're Becky guys. I'm like, "Hell yeah, we're gonna get Becky Lynch at Saturday's main event. Awesome." Tell you what, man, I'm sitting there with my popcorn because there's pictures of me eating popcorn surfacing on the internet. Just by myself. Yeah. And that match happened, and I go, what the I was so bummed because, like I said, I love me some Becky Lynch. And yes, nerds on the internet, I understand why they did it, but it didn't look great. The angle didn't hit right. We could get into the whole, is Sol just nervous right now because
I think she's pressing. I think she's pressing,
or she's trying to do too much too quick. You know what I mean? Just not letting it come to her because it didn't look great. But yeah, it was a little bit of a bummer to have that kind of match go down. And yes, they're going to run it back Sunday. We'll see what they decide to do now with the mishaps on Soul's part since she's debuted. I don't know. I would have felt a lot stronger with her winning the IC title, but maybe that's all part of the storyline. I don't know. But yeah, I was real bummed to not get a full blown Becky Lynch match.
Yeah, it just felt like, and you could tell immediately it wasn't one of those, at least through the television, Graham. It wasn't one of those boos where it was like, oh, a heel did a shitty thing and we're booing the heel. It was what the hell is this shit?
But in the arena too, because again, if you're watching in the arena, and I didn't watch it back, they don't tell you what's going on, so it just didn't look right. And then all of a sudden they DQ'd Becky.
Yeah.
And we're like, but the way it looked, Soul ran, Soul did all the hit Jessica Carr, but you couldn't really. So, I don't know.
No, I agree. The execution sucked. I mean, the execution wasn't great. I know exactly. It didn't bother me too much because exactly like you guys said, we know where it's going and we know the rematch is happening in 3 days. I would assume. I mean, there was a report that Soul might be hurt. They even said that on Raw. I don't know at what point she would have gotten hurt, but at the same time, I didn't know if Logan Paul got hurt until they announced that on Raw. So, but they are advertising the match, so they didn't cancel it at least as of right now. But yeah, it wasn't great, and it doesn't help that, like you guys said, she had already botched the move once, did Soul a few weeks ago on Becky, actually. And this wasn't on Becky, it was on Jessica, but it had to do with Becky. The timing was off. I don't think it's a case of, she's got to change her finisher or it's going to be terrible. Like, I just think it's been more circumstantial stuff. Not to say she's not at fault, because she is. But I just think it sounded better in theory for them to do what they did than how it kind of played out. So hopefully they can avoid getting too cute with it, because honestly, even that sort of thing happened in NXT on occasion, and a lot of people didn't really notice because it was NXT, so it kind of flew under the radar. Not as badly botched as what we got this weekend, but yeah, I'm still looking forward to the match this coming Sunday. And honestly, if that was the weakest thing on this show, I know you were there, Pluggo, but like JPJ said, I enjoyed the show too. I really liked the show. I thought it was actually one of the better Saturday night main event shows they've done in some time, aside from the Cena one back in December.
Oh yeah, I'm a bit partial because I was there. I had a great time. I thought everything was good. That was a little clunky, of course. I wonder with Soul, and it's becoming more and more of a talking point. And I just, like you said, maybe because it was NXT, it kind of flew under the radar. And NXT diehards are like they ride or die for their, you know what I mean? You can't talk them out of anything. I wonder if it's like kind of a rookie coming into the NFL, like a rookie quarterback, and Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions in his first year, right? Like just pressing too much. And if she slows it down a little bit, because maybe that spot that they planned out with Jessica, just maybe that wasn't, they just didn't execute. They obviously didn't execute it, but maybe that was too cute. Like, it was a bummer because I think we all like Soul. I think we're all rooting for Soul. I think when they announced that this match was happening, it wasn't for the title. Then they decided it was for the title. Then they decided it wasn't for the title. Everybody just assumed if it's not for the title, Soul's absolutely winning this thing. And I think they took a kind of an easy way out in that sense. They should have maybe given her a more statement win. But yeah, overall, man, in the arena, the place was hopping. Indiana, whether you like it or not, man, shows out for. I don't know how it played on TV, but the crowd was hot the whole night. Like, it was loud in there. We were having a good old time. I think the only thing that I honestly would have had Penta and Ethan main event that thing. I get why they went with the Vision, but that match was so good, and I really thought that would have been a spot that you pulled the trigger on Ethan Page, even if it's just a short reign. But we're gonna get this roundabout like Rusev, Ethan Page, Siobhan. We're still gonna get that wheel going for the summer. So.
Yeah, I thought, look, you guys were hot all night because you got a good wrestling show. I thought all the other matches on the show were good. I thought they were good. I thought the opening 6-woman tag was a lot of fun. I thought Jade, the right people won with Jade, Mishin, and B-Fab winning. I thought that made a lot of sense, especially heading into this Sunday. I thought that was a great start. Isn't
that wild that they had four former current women's world champions in that match, and that was your opener?
Yeah. That was awesome. And I thought, you have Rhea Ripley come out for biggest star in the company. Like, it was just, that was a lot of fun. I thought Ethan Page should have won the IC title. I feel like it felt like that was something, and I love Penta, but like I just felt like this was Ethan Page is a special dude. Like he's a special guy. Like he's going to be a star. He already is, but I thought that would have been a good spot. And when Penta was on the posters the whole thing. He was on the promo. He was doing all that. So I thought this is the main event. It's for the IC title. They even did like a video earlier in the night of like the history of the IC title. Yep. I was like, all right, this is cool. It felt good seeing the tag titles and the IC title get shine on a show the way these titles did. But I felt like the IC should have main evented, especially there really wasn't anything big that happened in that tag match in the main event. Like it was a good match. I thought that the spot with Dawkins, throwing Braun Breaker over the table was an incredible spot. Yeah. And then Braun kind of stands tall after the retain and spears them both. And they're furthering that story. But like, I thought the finish of the show was a little lackluster. I feel like even with the Penta retain, if they did the same match, but it was the main event, I feel like that would have been a more proper main event. It felt like that to me.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, it definitely felt like I figured the tag title match was going on last, even with Penta positioned as the poster, like you guys said. It felt like the tag title match was being positioned as the most important match in the show, just based on what we've seen on Raw in recent weeks. So I got it. But it's not as if they ended the show with a big angle. That would honestly, in retrospect, I also agree. I think Penta and Page would have worked just as well for the main event. Also, if you consider, too, they were heavily emphasizing the Intercontinental Championship has not changed hands on one of these installments of Saturday Night's Main Event in like 30 years. Yeah. So, like, you could have played into that more with it being the main event. I kind of figured Penta would win, but when it went on in the middle, I was kind of like, okay, Penta's definitely retaining here. Yeah. But with the main event, the tag titles didn't change hands. Rollins didn't get involved. I know that was for a storyline reason, which was they worked it well. And the match was a lot of fun. But it was like, okay, Breaker lays him out, and that's about it. It was kind of just like, oh, okay. It wasn't bad, but like underwhelming, like you said, JPJ. Yeah. So, yeah, the match was great. I have no worries about Page, though. I think he'll be fine. I think he will win the championship, inevitably, maybe even on the sooner side. And also, I'm partially okay with it because we found out on Raw this week we're getting Penta and Rey Mysterio at some point for the first time. And this company, they've done it before in Lucha Underground, which was great then. It's going to be cool now. So
do you think it's possible they throw that on Triple Mania?
Ooh.
Because that's immediately where I said, oh, that's like, because they're doing 2 separate nights for it. And, I'm like, are they going to do that match? Like, is that going to headline one of the nights of Triple Mania?
It could, but isn't Triple Mania in September, though?
Yeah, that is a ways away. Yeah, so that
they could. Well, and then Ray's jumping the line. What has he done?
Well, he's the general manager of AAA now.
He can do whatever he wants. Yeah,
he's an authority figure. But yeah, I thought overall it was. I thought even the women's tag match, that was the second shortest match on the show, but I thought that was really good. I thought Paige and Bree looks pretty good in there. They've been doing pretty good. I thought that was a fine match. I mean, obviously, however you view it, fortunately or unfortunately, Logan Paul got injured in that main event, tore his tricep. So he's going to be gone for a long while. I don't know if you guys saw that picture with that gnarly scar he had. Huge.
It was wild.
Yeah, and then on
I didn't really know when he did it. I couldn't really tell being there.
It was on the Montez dive, I think. It looked like he got landed on and his arm. He just started screaming and grabbing his arm after it. So
when did they cut the show off? Because there was a little John between Montez and Dawkins at the end, they were in the ring for a while. So I don't even know if it was on TV, but you can they were still kind of playing up the whole they were just like, I don't know, what do you want to do? But they figured it out on Monday, which. I don't know, man. Can I just, before we move on to the meat and potatoes of the show, can I just say this Vision, dude, snake bitten as hell. I don't think I'm saying anything that nobody's already thinking. Is it time to just maybe, I know they tried to salvage the parts of it. I know Bronson Reed is starting to post that, he's been working out and he's might be, where smoker's fire, so he might be back. But the way that Heyman was like, don't worry, Theory, I wrote in the contract that it's just like, now we're just going to slot Braun Breaker, who should be here, no disrespect, in the tag division right now, which there isn't really a tag division right now. You know what I mean? Can we just can we just call it good? Like, it is what it is. Like, it was cool for a minute where it's like, oh, I could see the vision, no pun intended. But like, everybody that joins that thing, just something happens to them, and then we have to restart the counter, dude. Just put Seth back. Put Seth back in the group, I guess. I don't know.
I was at that point like 3 months ago. Honestly, after the Breaker injury, I was like, just blow it up. And honestly, like, it's not as if it's been an overly great group since then. They hold the tag titles, but like you just said, Pluggo, how much does that even really mean? I mean, there's no division to speak of, you know? And what does this leave? Theory and Breaker? I mean, that's just random. I know what they were trying to do with Theory on Monday. I love Theory. I think the guy is great, but I just don't really think it works. I just don't take it. You can't expect me to take this guy seriously when for at least the last 3 or 4 months, he was positioned as the fall guy of the group. And now he's supposed to be this one-man wrecking crew. I just think we're at a point, completely agree. Blow it up, start from scratch. Breaker does not need them. Keep him maybe with Heyman, but definitely not the vision as itself. And I would try Theory out as a babyface. Honestly, I mean, we might be past that point of where that could work, but they've never tried that on the main roster. And Breaker, it can just be as simple as Breaker turning on him, calling him the weak link, and, you know, him going off on his own. I don't need to see a Breaker Theory feud, but I think like people wanted to cheer for Theory when he was with Waller at the end there, and they were teasing the split, and they never actually really fully followed up on that. I think that would be better than whatever they're trying to do now. I would do the hard pivot, as The Rock would say, and, you know, just start from scratch with everyone involved.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels that way. One person comes back and then it's another, you know, it's just kind of, and it's been that way ever since they done it. So it makes all the sense. You want to put Braun in this for a little bit, fine, but like he doesn't belong down there. Like Pluggo said, he needs to be doing other things, especially if he's still feuding with Seth. You can still just do that. He's just not. He's a solo guy. Why does he have to be in the group? Yeah,
and it's not like Paul, you know, hasn't made choices before where he just be like, I'm rolling with Theory or I'm rolling with Breaker, and just. Yeah, you know, like you said, we've all, you know, we're supposed to believe Theory's this badass, but we all know who watch the show every week. The reason that he's in the position he's in is because of injuries and having to retool the group. So it's tough to. I don't know. I just thought of that. I was like, man. I mean, listen, and I'm not celebrating a Logan Paul injury because I'm not that type of person, whether we like him or not. But yeah, that group it is what it is, you know.
I had a lot of people coming at me this week for that take, by the way.
Because you didn't celebrate his injuries?
Yes. And I just said, all right. I go, you cannot like somebody and not be like
correct
jumping up and down that they just got seriously injured. Like, it's two separate things. And then I just had a bunch of, oh, you clearly don't hate them. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, buddy. All right, like, it's weird, dude. It's weird. That's weird. Like, but anyway.
Yeah, you know, you don't like the New York Knicks, right? You would. Yeah,
I don't want Jalen Brunson.
Right, exactly. It's just like
that's not what I'm rooting for. It just doesn't make sense. You know, it's weird. But yeah, I mean, anything else stick out to you, Pluggo, about the time in Fort Wayne?
Outside of just like, I had a really fun time. I had good seats. I got to sit with, which is always fun. I got to sit with like a nice group of people that were like really having fun and enjoying the show. I got to see our buddies Wells and Stone, Hain, and I got to meet some people. DC was in the house. You know, it was good to just get to see all those people. Overall, like I said, just like I really enjoyed the opener. I thought they opened up hot. Started off strong, and it was a good night overall. Becky stuff aside, 2 hours, can't complain. Couldn't complain at all. Like I said, it wasn't anything to write home about, but I had a good time, man. That's all that matters to me. Shout out to Mrs. Pluggo for those seats.
Yeah, it looked like they were pretty good.
Because again, like I said, I was on the fence to go, and she's like, well, I can make it an early Father's Day gift if you really want to go. And I was like, yeah, no, I'd love to go and hang out with everybody. And so she's asking me like, where's like the best seats, and I'm kind of explaining it to her and how it works. And I said, sometimes floor seats are nice and all, but if you get like a bad floor seat, like remember Bound for Glory, we were having trouble. Trouble seeing things where we were at. So I said, if you go into the bowl, and she's like, well, what side's the camera on? And I go, this side. She goes, well, I'm going to get you a ticket right here. And she got me an aisle seat. So I got
amazing.
I got to stretch out. I didn't have to be like cramped up like this on the people because I'm a big guy. So
yeah.
No, yeah. Overall, super fun time.
Hell yeah.
Live wrestling's always fun, man.
It is. It is.
I saw a rumor, Pluggo, that are they going back to Indianapolis for something in September or October? Did you see that same tweet a few days ago or no?
I didn't see anything. I know that AEW will be there in September for Dynamite. A Dynamite. I don't know, but I do know that the Indiana Athletic Commission did sign that big deal where we're supposed to get a SummerSlam, but we're also going to see more shows in Fort Wayne because of it, and maybe I don't know if there's any other bigger cities down Evansville. You'll see more shows down there, so I wouldn't be shocked if we saw something come back down that way. Maybe another Raw or something. I don't know if there's any big pay-per-views in the works. What's in September?
I mean, last year was WrestlePalooza. I don't know if they're doing that again. I mean, that was really just a big anti-all-out, ESPN debut type of show. So I don't know if they do anything in September this year, which I'm sure they will, because SummerSlam is again so early in the first weekend of August. I'm sure they will. It's just more a matter of what it would be. I don't know if they're going to.
I wonder if they would run that back at Indianapolis.
That's what makes me think. Yeah, because it was there last year, right?
Yeah, and it had a decent turnout. It was cool. I had a good. It was pretty packed. I mean, like I said, Indiana. It's especially Indianapolis area. There's an airport right there. It's very centralized to a lot of things, so a lot of people can easily get there. That's what makes this area so nice for wrestling. Is it's easy to get pretty much anywhere. So it wouldn't be a bad idea. So if they want to run back the WrestlePalooza, I know last year they said they wanted to make it a yearly thing. But I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Still your fingers on the pulse, man. Your fingers on the pulse. Mine is not. I was eating lobster today.
Well, speaking of tickets, and you mentioned Bound for Glory and that we were all there. JPJ, are you going to Slammiversary next month? I haven't gotten tickets yet, but
I have not got tickets yet, but I will most likely be there. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a big one. It's in Boston, actually, at the Agganis Arena, so I think that's a good like secondary building in the city for wrestling. Dynamite's been there a bunch.
I was gonna say Dynamite ran there a few times.
Yeah. I'll probably be going. I haven't bought tickets yet either. I know from what I've heard, I think it's selling pretty well.
Good for them.
So it should be a good time. So I'll try to see. Look, I'm not going to be spending an arm and a leg. But
I mean, it's TNA.
If it's reasonable, it's going to be a big show. I think there is rumor that maybe Bailey will fight on that show. I know her and Indy Hartwell are on social media trying to push for a match on that show. Which, if that happens, that would be nice. I'll most likely be there, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go too. I've never been to a Slammiversary. They were in Boston years ago, maybe 2013.
I went to that Slammiversary.
Did
Sting,
you?
Yeah, Sting was there. Hogan.
Hogan. That was completely different roster.
The best match on that show was the last knockout standing match. It was Gail Kim and Terrell. Taryn Terrell. It's the best match on that show. That match ruled. Hogan cut a promo where he called Sting a P word, which was wild. The crowd went nuts for that. And then the main event was,
I think it was Sting and
Jeff Hardy, maybe Sting and Bully Ray.
Sting was the title.
Sting was in the main event for going for the title.
I think that was when Sting lost and he couldn't challenge for the belt anymore after that.
I think that might have been it because Bully Ray. I think that was Aces. That was in the height of Aces and Eights and stuff. I think was still going on.
It was, yes, that show was on my birthday and I wanted to go, but they ended up having Raw the next day in Connecticut, so I went to that instead. But I remember that show. I was bummed I couldn't go, so I'm going to try to make it to this one. I've never been to a Slammiversary, so this card, it's not for another month, but it looks like, like you said, the potential to be good.
Yeah, I think especially going live, I think TNA does a good job when you go see them live. I haven't gone to a ton of TNA shows, but the TNA shows I've gone to, I've always had a good time. Yeah, and Scott says that it's also a 3 p.m. start time. It's an afternoon show, which I appreciate.
It is. Yeah, I think they did that because that's the same day as Forbidden Door. Now, the fact they scheduled it for the same day was stupid. I don't know why they did that, but it's not a case of them trying to counter program because they're doing it earlier now. So. Which is smart.
They have counter programmed in the past, and it doesn't usually work out in their favor.
No,
not on purpose. Like not in like a. I'm not saying that they're like being vindictive, but I know that they've gone head to head with some AEW stuff in the past, and it's like it's tough. But My first and only TNA show was that Bound for Glory show that seemed to make the news cycle this week.
You know,
did. A little bit.
What happened? I missed that. What happened?
The whole Matt Hardy, Joel.
Joel Pearl. Yeah, sorry, no, I didn't miss that. I know. Yeah, you just, like
I was like, why are we still talking about this show? It was like
my thing is
it's like a year ago, but
Matt, the show is almost like 7 months old, 8 months old.
Yeah.
Second of all, Matt Hardy's been wrestling for 35 years. How are you letting? And I love Joel Pearl. And obviously, I get it. Joel Pearl works for Fightful. They're the, one of, if not the biggest site in the, I get it. But like, first of all, I don't understand why Matt is going so hard about what. It just feels like, why would you let one person's comments affect you that much?
It wasn't even that bad either.
And again, and people are acting like it was like this big, people are going to go, oh, you shouldn't insult. It's like, he didn't really say anything bad. He just said he didn't like the match. Really?
Yeah, I think he said it was stupid. I mean,
if
he didn't like the
Why
match,
did he
whatever.
use that adjective? I think it was like Hardy's.
Which is, I mean, it's fine for him to question it, I guess. But like you guys said, he went in on it. And I love Matt Hardy, but he went in on it for like I still saw that on like Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm like, for a show that happened 8 months ago, like you guys said.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like it's fine, dude. It's
not that big of a deal.
Scott says the Red Sox Yankees are at 7:20.
So the Red Sox Yankees in town that weekend.
That
so
makes
PLUGGO,
sense.
you want to fly out here? We go to Red Sox Yankees game.
I don't know if I've got Red Sox Yankees ticket money, bro.
No, that's fine. We'll figure that out.
I'd absolutely have to sleep on your couch.
That's fine. Red Sox Yankees tickets. That would be nice if you're gonna go to a game. I mean,
that's crazy.
In my Yankees gear.
That's what. I mean, listen, Boston fans are respectful. As long as you're quiet, they won't bother you. They'll look at you like you're a piece of shit. But
I wore my Yankees hat to Saturday night's main event because I had to wear it somewhere. I'm not allowed to wear it here.
Yeah, you're wearing a Philadelphia 76ers hoodie on though.
Oh, this thing was $4, dude.
That's great. What a bargain bin that you can wear any other time but here.
Why?
Because we don't like the sixes around these pots. That's why. Anyway, I digress. All right, so that was Saturday night. And then Sunday night, AEW put on Double or Nothing in New York City. It was in Queens, Louis Armstrong Stadium. First of all, I thought the arena looked great.
Mm-hmm.
I love, for the TV shows, the AEW goes to some cool venues, and I think that adds an extra element to the show. I love the tennis arena aesthetic that AEW seems to like to go to. I thought this arena looked fantastic. I thought it was well lit. I thought everything looked great. And, again, we talk about this long line of AEW great pay-per-views, but this one was one of the best. Like, this was an all, I feel like
I loved that venue. You're right. It's great.
It was great. It was great. And I thought this was an all-time pay-per-view for AEW. An all-time pay-per-view. I thought every match was great to better than great. There was no dips in the action. It was well-paced. They advanced some big storylines. Even had a big, huge, out-of-nowhere, unexpected angle at the end of the show. I just thought this was a fabulous pay-per-view. And again, it was Memorial Day weekend, so this is like, when they do these on Memorial Day and then Labor Day, this is where I forgive that they go late. But even it was over by 12. It was, 4.5 hours. Not bad. I think you can start at 7 instead of 8, Tony. I think you can. But, I thought this was excellent, Graham. I thought this was...
He loves that shit. He gets all jazzed up for that. He's like, 8 o'clock, we're going to 1:30, baby.
Yeah,
we're going to have that post-show.
My alarm goes off a few hours later, and I'm like, damn it.
Seriously. Yeah.
Come on
even
now.
being there is worse because then you gotta leave and you gotta take off. I mean, I guess it depends on how close you are to the arena. But I was at Full Gear in November. I think that was a Saturday show, thankfully, but still. And I mean, I'm not that close to New Jersey. I'm about maybe 3 hours out, but I wasn't back until 3 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. Yeah. But no, I completely agree though. I thought this was an excellent show. I feel like I also personally say that a lot after a lot of these shows where that was one of the best I've ever seen. I genuinely have to sit down and look at them again because no doubt this was an amazing show, but it's almost like it's not even a problem. This is like a good thing. I feel like their shows are always so great that we're always saying that because their shows are consistently strong on pay-per-view. I mean, the weekly shows have been also very good for the last several months.
Yes.
I think it just speaks to the momentum they have right now. I mean, that was also my top takeaway from a show this well received and also like good build, great crowd, a lot of people in there. They didn't drop the ball, they delivered when it mattered most. And it just speaks to the momentum this company's had, at least for the first. They've had momentum in the last couple of years, but like this feels like the hottest that AEW has been in maybe 5 years, in my opinion, maybe since like early 2022. A lot of things firing in all cylinders. The main event scene is white hot right now. They have a star-studded roster, and it's not just the main event scene. Like the women's division, they could be doing more with, but there's a lot of good women in there. Tekla's great. The tag team division is stacked, and we could be getting the New Day and the Motor City Machine Guns in soon.
When is that Detroit show? It's right around the time.
3 days after they're free. I think it's like the day they're free or a few days after, which, I mean, how do you not put them in on that show?
Right.
There's just so many great things. Even Takeshi and Okada, which is not main event or any tag team or anything, but that was the best match on the show. That match was amazing, and it was on second. So really, really like the show. It just makes me happy to see them doing so well. I mean, and it's not one of those cases of it's like, WWE can be bad, good, whatever. It's not always about comparing the two, but like at a time where WWE could be doing more to be hotter, AEW is picking up the slack and, kind of taking advantage of that by putting on a really good product right now. It's great to see.
It really is. It really is. Are we getting crashed? Are they
I was going to say, I don't know.
This weekend is a LPW weekend.
Yeah.
And I think I see, I don't know if they're
the
crashing.
The voice of LPW. Are you crashing or are you just looking into
Are they trying to work or are they just crashing?
What are you doing? We'll bring him in.
I don't know what's going on. All right, hold on. Before we dive into Double or Nothing, I think we're getting crashed by the voice of LPW.
I was about to get my hot takes.
Is this about wrestling?
It is about wrestling.
It is.
How are you? Are you setting up are you setting up the evening of festivities?
Where's the wrestling?
I will kick you off the show in 2 seconds if you don't stop.
Mike, where's the wrestling, Mike?
I don't know that guy.
I don't know. You don't know Mike Carroll?
I'm kidding.
We're doing the thing live tonight, so if you guys want to come hang out after Beards and check out LPW CWS, come check it out. Have a great show, guys.
Appreciate you. Yes, on this channel, the last Thursday of every month, once Beards gets off the air, right here, you stay here. We have a nice little LPW CWS wrestling show for y'all. That Boris gets to be the commentator for, the best in the biz right there. Right. All right, thanks for hopping on. Have a blast tonight, and everybody will all be staying here and watching
tomorrow
you do your
night's
thing,
the big
brother.
LPW
And tomorrow
48.
night, the big one, LPW 48, which will be a great time as well. So go watch Boris, go watch the gang. So yeah, we haven't really. They've just been going live after our show. We haven't really talked about it a ton, but last Thursdays of every month night before the LPW shows.
Yeah.
LPW Clandestine Wrestling Society. They have a show on Thursdays, and once we get off the air, they go live here for the duration of the rest of that show. So stick around once our three pretty faces get off here.
And can I get hot takey? Can I get JPJ like seething hot? Can I get a? Where was the ads? Where were the ads on Sunday? I didn't see any ads. What the hell, man?
It's
I need
crazy.
those. Listen, I need those ads. I gotta go pee sometimes. I gotta make popcorn. I gotta hear the Liberty theme song. No, I piggyback it off of Grav, dude. Like, they're in a great spot right now, and this is something that I think we've talked about, and I think people are starting, non-AEW people are starting to catch back on to. We used to talk like, man, they got to stop focusing on WWE so much. Stop focusing on them. Focus on you. Focus on your product. And they're doing that, and they're doing such a great job right now. And then, like, you're bringing in guys like Mick Foley, right, who are saying things, whether haters are going to hate, Tony told him to say it. He's saying that AEW sparked his love for wrestling again. So those people are tuning in, and if they're tuning in because Mick was there, they saw this Double or Nothing show and was just like, whoo, that is, and contrast night and day to like WrestleMania. Again, it's two different companies, two different products, but if you're a Laps fan, you're like, I'm going to give these AEW guys another shot here. You're like, hey, there's some things going on here that you got to take note to. So good on them, man. Like,
and I think up 15% or something like that. I saw earlier today on the pay-per-view buys already and stuff like that. 100% Mick Foley had something to do with it. That is a beloved guy.
Mrs. Foley's baby boy
of fans who are dedicated, loyal fans. And when he hasn't done anything on screen in a good while.
First book I ever owned, right here, baby.
There we go.
There you go.
And when you hear he's going to be on the show, there were people that probably tuned into that buy-in, like you said, specifically to see Mick Foley. And then they saw 3 pretty fun matches on the pre-show. Yeah. And they were like, oh, this is pretty good. Let me hang around. Especially if you have HBO Max, you can just kind of watch it. You don't have, you can just buy it for a discounted rate. Let me hang around. Let me watch it. And if they did stick around, they got, it was unbelievable. It's funny how it works when there's just a match. The match ends. Oh, another match and just another match. And it makes the 4.5 hours not feel like, a 2.5 hour. There have been 2.5 hour events with all those ads. That night one of WrestleMania felt like it was double the amount of time Double or Nothing was.
Yeah,
because of everything that was going on in between everything.
I think Adrian Hernandez at one point a few weeks back tweeted something out about like it's crazy work that ESPN Unlimited that you pay that $30 subscription and they give you all these commercials and all these ads on just their sports. And I said I haven't seen a promo package for WWE PLE since they switched to because they play ads during those, even though I'm paying the unlimited prices, and so it takes you kind of out of the flow of the show a little bit. You can't get as hyped, even though the match is going to cook, but it takes you out. But AEW, they're like, here you go, and like I saw a lot of people saying, hey, listen, if AEW is going to put on these type of shows every month, I'd be more than happy to drop 50 opposed to the 30 I drop over here. Just because I feel like I'm getting more bang for my buck, and I want to preface this as people listen to this. We're not saying AEW is perfect because there are some problems that they need to hammer out. Like the lack of women's matches last night was pretty glaring.
Yeah,
it's pretty glaring right now. The way he's been throwing multi-women's, which it was a good match, but he's been throwing a lot of multi-women's matches just for the sake of having them instead of really having some story to them. But yeah, Double or Nothing, dude. If that's something like we know as diehards, we watch it we're watching it all the time. But if that's a pay-per-view that you stumble across, you probably left it feeling pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then they're building to their biggest show of the year here in 2.5-3 months as well. So
Redemption.
Yeah, well, that is the news. We are getting a new AEW pay-per-view in July in Montreal. Redemption, the end of that's not terribly far from me, so I think I could be interested in that one as well. Yeah, it's like a 4.5 hour drive. It's like obviously it would, but not terrible. Anything where you don't have to pay for a flight.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to be interested. So,
well, what is your guys' cutoff? That's a great question. Like
that is a good question.
Because I was looking at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it's in Minnesota. That's 10 hours. That's a 10-hour drive from where I'm at. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm Midwest through and through, right? Nothing's too far for us. But even I was like, 10's kind of tough. I could make a stop. I do have an option to stop up in Wisconsin if I wanted to and have a place to stay if I needed to do it that way and kind of cut the drive in half. But even that, I'm like, that's a long. So what's your guys' your cutoff?
10 hours might be, the furthest that I've gone, that 5-6 hour I can, because, most likely you're going there for at least a couple days. Like, it's not like you're just, I wouldn't drive that home after the show. Like I know if I go to Redemption and I go to Montreal, I'm staying over after the show. I'm just going to drive home the next day. You know what I mean? Because you can leave, that 5 hours in the morning to the day, that's nothing. That's just a straight, all right, we're good to go,
Yeah.
I would say once you're getting to like past 8 hours, I feel like I would question it. But it also, that's going to be for a paper. Like, I'm not going that far for anything that's on a pay-per-view or anything like a big show, But I feel like that 6 to 8 hours, I would really have to be, an event I really want to go to, but I would go.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, there's a couple factors as far as like what's the show, how important is it, have like, you know, what is the show? You know, is it a B-level show? Is it an A-level show? What's on the card? Is someone coming with me? Am I just driving by myself? How, you know, where is it exactly? Like, for example, honestly, Montreal is a great example because I was there for Elimination Chamber a few years ago and they did Roman and Sammy, and that alone was an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
But a buddy of mine, actually my buddy RJ, who was at Bound for Glory with me when I saw you guys a few months ago, he hit me up the day after the Rumble. He's like, hey, what do you think about taking a road trip to Elimination Chamber? And I had just gotten back from the Rumble. I said, dude, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Let's do it. Like, that sounds ridiculous. Yeah. And so for me, it's probably like, it's really funny you bring this up because I literally looked up like this morning, how far is the Bell Center from me in Connecticut? Yeah. I think it's 5.5, 6 hours, and I would probably be by myself. But when I went to Elimination Chamber, my buddy RJ lives in Mass, so I stopped there, slept for a little bit, and then we went up, and it was about, like you said, JPJ, like 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's manageable. To me, I would probably say 5 or 6 would be my cutoff. I'm really tempted to go to the show though. I mean, I don't think New Day is showing up here. I don't think they can legally, but like Motor City Machine Guns can maybe make an appearance. Yeah. It's very possible.
And I don't want
I love that you said though, real quick before JPJ's point, that you're like, that's the dumbest fucking idea ever. Let's do it.
Dude, that happened. That's
what are you, 20 years old, bro?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Dude, but those are the things I just, as a, just a general a mindset or just I don't know, whatever you would call it, motto. If it's some of the dumbest things you'll ever do, it sometimes ends up being the most worth it. That was to me one of the best wrestling weekends we've ever had. And we left. It was like at a point too where we got to do the junket beforehand, but we didn't know about that until like a couple of days before. We already booked at the hotel for only Friday and Saturday, and then left after the show. Yeah, and then we left on Sunday morning. But we drove to the junket the morning of. So we left Mass at like 2:30 in the morning, got there at like 8 maybe, and then we checked in and then went to the junket at like 9. We legit like almost died. I think we almost drove off the road like 3 times. When we got through New Hampshire where there's like nothing and it was dark for like an hour, I think we almost drove into a ditch. And that was after I got like legit like 45 minutes of sleep. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever fucking done, but it was absolutely incredible and I regret none of it.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, it's not. And Montreal's a great city.
Montreal's
a great city, cool city, a lot of history, a lot of cool places to visit, eat. You know, if you like to party, you like to drink, hit the bars. It's just a good city. Disgusting hockey team though, but a good city. And yeah, so yeah.
Let me go get my Canadians hoodie. Let's really party.
Of all the rivals, they're the ones that make me angry the least. Because they haven't mattered in a really long time. But they're better than my team now, so bless. But yeah. No, but I you know, I don't want to jump the gun, but I think Speedball Mike Bailey is probably going to beat Kevin Knight for that TNT title in that building, probably. So I feel like that is
scale of 1 to 10 Speedball suit game on Wednesday night. Saw a lot of mixed reviews. I dug it for speed because it's Speedball.
It worked.
I would never be able to pull that shit off. I would look ridiculous. I was like, this man looks ready to party.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kevin Knight, dude, what a badass.
So
he just looks so natural in the pocket as this, whatever he's doing. He's not necessarily calling it a heel because he just believes what he believes, but he's a heel on TV. But looks good. He thinks he's just right.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So obviously that happened to end the show. So
here we go. Scott said right here, we got July 24th for Motor City and August 4th for New Day would be the first opportunities they could have.
So technically then
jump ship.
Yeah, so that new pay-per-view will be after the Motor City Machine Gun date. So I know, I get saving it for Detroit because I think the Dynamite after is Detroit.
It is.
So I get doing that. Detroit, Motor City, that makes all the sense in the world. But I mean, if you can have them debut at a first ever brand new pay-per-view in its first iteration, I think that's a big moment. And then you could even, have them wrestle their first match in Detroit, that next Dynamite, and you could have it go that way maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that should be a good time. But Sunday night was a good time. Opened up, I Quit match and we have ourselves, for the first time in a long time, Christian Cage, Adam Copeland are the new AEW Tag Team Champions. Pluggo's making a mess. He can't believe it. This was I thought this was really good. I thought this was good. Obviously, a lot of story building up to it. FTR is one of the all-time greats, and so aren't Cage and Copeland. I thought that this was a great opener. The crowd was amped up. You know, the Christian spot with the I banged your mom thing was hilarious. I love this opener. I thought it was a good piece of business, and it was really like, I don't think this was, obviously part of it is it hit the nostalgia button without feeling too nostalgic for me, in my opinion. You know, like it wasn't too over the top, like, oh, they just did it for that reason, even though that's part of the reason. It just kind of hit the right chord for me, Graham.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I thought it was a really good opener. I mean, we kind of figured that Cope and Christian were winning just because of the stipulation that they would have to retire as a team if that wasn't happening. But I thought it was a really good match. I think these two teams have had great chemistry since the feud started late last year. Great moment with Cope and Christian finally winning the tag titles. I thought that was cool. A great way to open the show. And honestly, typically, I Quit matches aren't my cup of tea. They tend to be very hit or miss. They're either really good or really memorable or really friggin' boring because they're constantly asking, do you quit? In AEW, they do a lot less of that, which is nice. I thought this was well done. No blood either. I feel like I think they reserve that for the main event. That's always kind of one of my biggest complaints. Like, it just doesn't feel special when they do it in every match. They didn't do it here, which was nice. And it was exactly what it needed to be. I think Cope and Christian are, it's great to see them teaming up again. I mean, the idea of this even happening, 5, 6, 7 years ago would have been unreal.
Yep.
Super cool. And I'm glad FTR got this moment too with one of the best teams of all time.
Agreed. Pluggo, would you like the opener?
Can I agree with everything you both just said, but can I ask you a simple question? Can we get Beth Copeland regularly? Oh my God. She looked awesome, right? She played the part well. She still looks like she got it. So why isn't she in that women's division going after some gold? But no, I've been saying it since this Cope and Christian thing, they were going to do it. Like, I'm here for this summer of when your other companies aren't focused heavily on tag team wrestling, be the hub for tag team wrestling. And right now, like you said, with the potential, you got Cope, you got Christian, you got the Young Bucks, you got FTR, right? And then you could throw in Motor City, you could throw in the New Day potentially. There's plenty of people that we could put together as tag teams in AEW and just have this really fun, like, summer of Cope and Christian. I think it was the right decision. And shout out to them. The only person that bled was Adam Copeland in a little bit there. They had Spike out, they had barbed wire, and they still managed to put on a good show without. I was telling JPJ at the top before you hopped on, I said, it's pretty crazy that the New York State Athletic Commission's like, don't bleed, don't blade, no fake blood, but burn some people up. That's fine.
I guess so, yeah.
Definitely light that table on
like
fire.
a champ.
Yeah. You can definitely light each other on fire, but if you blade, you better only be bleeding the hard way. Makes no sense. I thought it was a fun opener. And then we went in. Graham, you said earlier that you thought this was the best match on the show for your money. We went right into, oh my God, a match we've all been waiting for a long time. Konosuke Takeshita, Kazuchika Okada, International Championship. And this lived up to the billing. This lived up to the anticipation, the wait, all of it. This was tremendous. Okada had his prime Okada boots on, and Takeshita, for my money, pound for pound, might be the best wrestler in the world. This was awesome. It wasn't my favorite match on the show, but it was 1A for me. I'll tell you what my favorite one was when we get to it later. But this was fucking awesome.
Big Boom AJ.
We didn't talk about the free. Look, I have no problem with that guy. I think those matches are always fun. It pops the crowd. It gets the crowd amped up before the show. Like, who gives a shit, Sometimes it's pro wrestling, guys. Sometimes shit can just be fun. Sometimes. I
don't know. You're not a big Rizzler guy.
I know that's not true. I'm not anti-Riz. I was waiting for Riz to get his comeuppance on Shane Taylor more. But, it is what it is. But I love Okada, Takeshita. Like, oh, my God.
Very good. It's about time, right? Like, Takeshita needed this. I think if he didn't win here, like, what are we doing? And obviously, I think I said it last week in the preview of it. I was like, I hope that Okada comes out and fired all cylinders and makes this guy even more of a star than he already is, and he did everything perfectly. And then the spot at the end, like with Kyle Fletcher coming back and surprising us all, and then basically, you know, they all picked a side, and it looks like we're gonna have Takeshita out there, babyface.
The conglomeration, apparently.
Yeah, he got help from the. So where does he go? Where does he go? You know, is he gonna? I don't want him in the conglomeration. I'd rather he just fly solo. I appreciate that you guys helped out, but
yeah,
I have my
I don't
own.
think that's apparent.
I'm not a huge conglomeration guy. It's a very. I get why. That's an argument for another day, but
yeah.
Raymond,
very good match. It was your favorite match of the night. So
yeah,
Scott said he was exhausted after the first two matches.
It was two good ones. It was two
dude, that was a lot of. Ups
it was
and
like
downs.
it was already past 9:00 by the time this match ended, and I was like, "This shit's going till 2:30."
I know
until 2 a.m. But then it got. I thought the show was really well paced. Like it wasn't bad at all. But yeah, so this lived up to everything you wanted it to be and more. It seems.
Seriously, yeah, no, I mean, you said it before, Pluggo, that honestly, I had Okada winning here, not because I wanted to. I mean, I don't think I would have killed Takeshita, but I honestly, genuinely thought that it's taken this long for the feud to get to this point. I know they faced off at World's End, but like they've been feuding basically for like the better part of the past 2 years on and off. And I kind of figured they would have Okada win just because it didn't feel like going into the show that they were going to pull the trigger on Takeshita. The match goes on second. I'm thinking there's no way Takeshita's winning. They're not going to pull the trigger here, and they're not going to have the match they're fully capable of. I mean, the first one was really good, but it wasn't like the match that we wanted out of them. I'm shocked that we got it on the show. Obviously, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but they went in there and killed it. Like, this is what I want to see more often out of Okada, who always has really good matches, but like we need the Okada of 5 years ago, and I think Takeshita brought it out of him here. And Takeshita, I think, might be the best wrestler in the world, like you were saying, JPJ. So, yeah, love this. Thought it was great. The post-match stuff, really well done. I don't know if they build it with third match or we just go to Takeshita and Fletcher from here. That would seem to make the most sense for, like, All In or Forbidden Door or whatever. Yeah. And then lastly, I agree with the conglomeration point on Pluggo's point as far as I'm not a big conglomeration fan. I like the people in the group. Yeah. I know that it's supposed to be, like, random, but they've been doing it now for a few years. I genuinely don't really care about the group or the titles they hold, but I think if it's like a one-off to do a multi-man match and then to just from there have Takeshita do his own thing, that's fine. If he's a full-fledged member of the group, then we have a problem. But otherwise, I'm fine with it if it's temporary.
Exactly. Because, again, it would be crazy work, right, to just watch Takeshita get beat down by 19 Don Callis family members and nobody come to that guy's aid.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. So you get kind of like the babyface group coming out to save the day, the babyface pop. And then I'd like to see some interaction where Takeshita goes, I appreciate it. If you ever need anything, I got you. But I finally get to do this on my own. Like I've been in this family for so long. I'm here now. I'm going to do my own thing, but I appreciate it. I think that would be really cool, right? Like you said, one off it and call it a day. Because, that's just be wild. I'm part of the conglomeration now. I'm sounding like Mark Briscoe out here.
Yeah. I just think it was, hey, you guys hate them too. I need backup because there's a million of them and now there's one of me. That's what I'm just thinking. It was just kind of a one-off little, hey, you got my back if things go haywire kind of situation.
Kyle Fletcher being back is
awesome. So that happened unexpected. I thought it was, I was not expecting it. I thought he would be out a little bit longer, but he comes back. He's looking great.
He said in his vlog that the reason he came because he did a vlog like the day before, right, or like the day of. And he said something about like he was 90% sure when he took time off that they were going to need surgery, and I guess he's second or third opinion. They said he didn't, so he decided to come back. So he must be good to go, or at least well enough to continue to wrestle throughout through whatever it is. So good on him. I mean, hell yeah. If you don't need surgery, don't take it.
Yeah, so it looks like after the match, it looks like they're all going to gang up on Takeshita. Fletcher comes out, and at first Fletcher acts like he's him and Takeshita hug, and it's like, oh, Kyle's there to save the day, and the Don Callis family leaves the ring. Kyle picks up the belt. He hands it to Takeshita. He lifts up his arm, and then he clotheslines him. It was all a ruse. And, so Takeshita is officially removed from the Callis family, and we're building straight hot to Fletcher and Takeshita, it feels like, and please, by all means, yes.
Oh, Fletcher looked at Kevin Knight last night too. So Fletcher's just like, hey, I want some gold. I'm back. I never lost this.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, that TNT title is synonymous with Kyle Fletcher, but I also feel like Kyle Fletcher should be kind of, you know, I like him going for another different title, even though I know that's like his belt, really. But yeah, Fletcher and Takeshita, they could fight for the next year. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. We then started getting into the Owen stuff a little bit. We had the women's match of the show. It was Athena. It was Mina Shirakawa. Athena gets the victory, like I think a lot of us thought would happen. I thought this was a pretty good match. It was the shortest match on the show. Again, that we spoke briefly on the women's booking issue. I don't think that necessarily it felt like it was the shortest match on the show when you were watching the show, because I thought it was a good match.
I also think to be completely fair, if I were to be fair, this match wasn't supposed to be here, the Willow injury. So this one I kind of go, yeah, it was the shortest on the show, but it wasn't. This wasn't what they were. This was going to be on Dynamite, or so. This probably would have been on Dynamite last night, right? I would imagine they probably would have ran it here, and it would have got, and we would have been talking about how good it was for the spot it got. But yeah, it is a bummer when your shortest match is a women's match, especially in a tournament like this that you're trying to pump up is a big deal. But it was a good match. I had a good time. I think Athena rules. I still need her to get out of ROH jail. I know she loves it down there, but we need her on our TV screen every week.
Yeah.
Not behind a paywall.
Yeah, it feels like they throw her a bone in the Women's Owen Hart Cup every year. They have her advance to like the quarterfinals, semifinals, whatever, and then she loses, and then it's right back to Ring of Honor TV. I think Athena is excellent. I have no idea why they're dragging out this historic run. I mean, good for her, but like it doesn't even matter when it's on a show that barely anyone watches. I mean, she's having great matches and shit, but
and she never. I mean, if she does, we never hear about her complaining about it.
No, I think she is probably okay with it. I mean, she's taking it and making the most of it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I'm Athena, and I'm sure she probably sees it the same way too, she'll take this and be a bigger fish in a smaller pond in Ring of Honor or whatever than if she was still in WWE doing legit like nothing. Like her last couple of years there, she was just like
sitting in the background.
Yeah, seriously. And she went back to NXT and had a little decent run for herself, but she is so much better off right now, even in this spot, than she was in WWE. So I'll take that. But I thought the match was good. Mina never wins anything, which is unfortunate, but I mean, foregone conclusion. But the match was well worked. Athena wins. We move on. And the fact that this also, it's worth noting, was on the show and not the Alex Windsor mystery match, the wild card match, tells me that the wild card will not be a big deal. Because if it was supposed to be Mercedes and they're pivoting to her being in the tournament, which was clearly never the case, then why would you not have done that on this show? You know, so I feel like it could be like Camille again or someone like that. So we'll find out next week.
Yeah. That was going to be my next question, because obviously we were talking about the wild card and who it was going to be, and automatically you went to Mercedes, Britt Baker's name, you expect it to be, it's a wild card. You lose Willow, who was arguably the biggest star in the tournament. You got to have a big name, but even last night on Dynamite, like Windsor mentioned her going to All In and how it would be a dream for her and Will to, like she mentioned it, like, we could both win. And, so it's like, does this cause them to completely pivot with maybe what they were originally going to do, and maybe Alex Windsor makes a strong case to be fighting for the singles title, even though it feels like the Brawling Birds will be winning the tag titles at that show. But I don't know. I'm very intrigued and interested to see who they do. We both picked that it was going to be Mercedes last week, because that's just kind of what we were thinking. There's a lot of stories for Mercedes in that spot there as well, with who she would face. Inevitably going to
and the spot was still promoted at Double or Nothing at the time when we talked about it last week. We're like, they're still going to run the match, so that's where you do the big return. Like we were even getting like, what's Tony Storm doing? Like we just didn't know, and it's just like now you're kind of like trying to figure out who's going to take the spot. And Camille sounds like a good idea. If you want to have Alex Windsor go up against a big,
if Alex Windsor's going to win anyway, then And I don't know who, maybe she wouldn't have. I don't know. I mean, if it was Willow, I figured Willow was winning. So
I thought it was going to be Willow and Athena. in the finals. Like that, when I looked at the original bracket, I was like, feels like Willow and Athena wins it. That's kind of where I was at. That could still be the case. Well, not with the Willow part, but Athena can still win this. I wouldn't hate that at all. I just was under the assumption that, I thought of the two brackets that we saw. I thought the women's bracket was lacking a little bit of star power, and then you lose your biggest star in the bracket to an injury.
Yeah.
So to me, I was just like, and PLUGGO even drove it home even more than me, but he was like, it feels like you have to have it be a big star because you just lost the biggest star. And so I'm just, but why wouldn't you do that?
That old promoters adage, when you have to pull somebody from the card, you need to bring in somebody just as big, if not bigger, just so people don't feel like you slighted them. Now, granted, this isn't like an indie show or anything like that. This is AEW, but at the same kind of token, like if you want people to care about this bracket, you should, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they still will. Maybe they'll still go big and pop a rating on a Dynamite or something. But right now I have no idea who it could be. Your guess is as good as mine, and you could talk me into 5 or 6 different people.
Yeah. We'll find out. We'll find out. Yeah, I know.
Blues in the house.
Then it was Continental Championship time. No time limit. Kyle O'Reilly, the man who had Jon Moxley's number, going up against Jon Moxley. I really liked this match. I liked the storytelling they told in this match. But we finally saw Jon Moxley get a victory over Kyle O'Reilly. He retained. I just liked it. They beat the crap out of each other, which is what I was expecting. A lot of grappling, a lot of strikes, a lot of submissions. And I thought it was really fitting how the ankle lock got Moxley all those times. And it was Moxley having an ankle lock and a leg hold on Kyle, where Kyle had to finally tap out because he was working the leg the whole match. And I just thought it was really good storytelling throughout this whole match. I really liked this match a lot.
Yeah, it was a really good wrestling match. I think it was a logical match to do. O'Reilly's been back now for a few months, and the fact that he would not go for the guy that put him on the shelf in storyline was a little weird. So I'm glad he went after Moxley, and they had to tell that story of Moxley finally beating O'Reilly. They did. Honestly, I may have liked this more than their last match, because on that last match, at Full Gear, they had like 4 different hardcore matches, and they were all kind of the same thing. And that's where I kind of draw the line with, like, they don't really feel special when you do them so often on the same friggin' show. That wasn't the case on the show. And with this match, this was just a straightforward match. And honestly, personally, I prefer this sort of style with Moxley over what we typically get with the violence stuff, which kind of just feels overexposed. This was good. O'Reilly looked great. Moxley won as he should have. And they're clearly building up Moxley for probably to lose to Ospreay at some point. I don't think it's at All In, but maybe at that July pay-per-view, they'll run it back again, because that's the story they're kind of telling right now. So, yeah, I mean, for a mid-card match, this was enjoyable. Didn't think O'Reilly was going to win. He's already 1/3 of the Trios champion, so it was kind of, obvious. But, no, I like the match as well. I would completely agree.
Yeah. Mox just continues to figure out a way to get it done.
Unbelievable.
Like, if you look at it in storyline sense, like he just finds a way. Another good match. I liked. I don't know. Like you said, Ospreay. Maybe he's the guy that finally takes this off of John. I'm getting to that point with Moxley, not because he's doing anything bad. I don't think he's had a bad run. I just would like to see him, back into maybe that world title picture at some point, or. Things of that nature, because and then Ospreay is right there, but Ospreay's in the Owen, and he's going for, and I think that was the next match anyway. He's going for an all-in world title shot. So.
And I think to kind of tease or kind of talk about that, the Moxley side of it. The next match was Will Ospreay and Samoa Joe. This was my favorite match on the show. I loved this match. I love Samoa Joe. It sucks that he just came back.
Yeah, dude, what the
came back?
The ops never lacking except members. They're always lacking members, dude.
Although I will say, from that segment last night, obviously a bummer. I assume it's season 3 of Twisted Metal he's going to film.
I would assume so.
I would assume that show is actually very entertaining. If you haven't watched it, it's actually a lot of fun. The one thing I did like from that, though, besides Joe leaving again when he just came back, was it looked like Hook, and I know you're a Hook guy, Pluggo. Hook kind of stepped to the center to take back over the lead, but Hook had a facial expression like, I don't want to do this shit. and Bowens was like kind of leaning it. So it looked like it was like, ooh, I think Bowens thought that he was going to be the one that would kind of step up a little bit, but then Hook kind of slid in, but Hook looked like he didn't want to be. So I'm kind of intrigued.
Hook's too cool to want.
I'm intrigued about that side. Yeah.
He didn't do a great job recruiting when Joe was out the last time. We didn't end up with any new and then we got Bowens, and Bowens isn't really.
He's a Joe guy. Joe brought him in.
Yeah, he's a Joe guy.
Yeah,
that's another one where like if that group if the ops thing just kind of disbanded, especially like because it's kind of stop and start with. I wouldn't be upset about it, but I do like the intrigue with Joe and Hook. I mean, with Hook and Bowens, I do think you can get some fun out of that. But yeah, that's like why. That's where I go. Cool. We got Will Ospreay. We got Samoa Joe. Great match. Awesome. Both those dudes have chemistry. I picked Joe to win based on just my wild, crazy theories. But if he was just going to come up and leave for a few months, why not give that spot to somebody else and start building something else that you could build into the next 2 or 3 months?
Yeah. Yeah, I very much enjoyed this match. I love Samoa Joe. Ospreay's tremendous. Oddly, this wasn't that long of a match for it was a second or third shortest match on the show, but I thought it hit everything it needed to hit. Joe with the walk away spot, I thought this was one of the better ones we've seen. It's always a good spot, but I thought this was really, really good. And Will Ospreay looked like the Will Ospreay of old. I know they've been, in his matches, he's been wearing down and he's been taking some big stuff. This looked like the guy that's going to go to All In and win the world title. And that's the story they're telling. I thought the promo he cut on Dynamite last week leading into the pay-per-view was so needed and such a great promo by Will. And this match, and we find out on Dynamite that he's going to have to fight an old friend in Mark Davis next week. In the second round, the old United Empire guys.
Dunkzilla!
I really, really love this match between Will and Joe.
Yeah, this was great stuff. I'd have to think about it, honestly. I don't know if this is not only just one of Joe's best matches in AEW. I mean, the thing with Joe is that he's more of a promo guy at this point because he's older. I mean, he can go in there and have a really fun match, but he's not going in there and having bangers. Like when he was the world champion a few years ago, I mean, he was world champion a few months ago, but a few years ago when he was world champion, he was having some really good matches. But to me, it was more about like the promos because he can't really go at the same level he could a couple of years ago. This was exactly what it should have been. Perfect length. And Ospreay is the guy. I mean, it wasn't all Ospreay. Joe went in there and was on his A game and killed it. Just a really fun match. The finish was amazing with like him hitting his finisher, Ospreay, him kicking out at one and then hitting it again and then immediately finishing him off. Like that was like perfect. I mean, I don't love the whole kick out of finishers. AEW does it too much. WWE does it a lot. But I thought that was a good use of it. It made Joe look great in defeat. Hate that he's already being, that he's gone again. But, I'm glad he was back for a little bit just because he lost the title and never got a rematch. So this was his way of kind of going back after the belt. He gets written off immediately by being eliminated from the tournament. And then when he comes back, he can do whatever. So it's just nice to see. It's just nice to see Joe still in prominent positions. I mean, this is a guy that we all kind of thought his career could be over when he got fired from WWE, not once, but twice. And he went right to AEW. And this is a guy who has not really been in his prime physically for maybe like 10 years. But everywhere he's gone, he's been a top guy. And he's won the world title twice now, TNT champion multiple times, trios champion, and a lot of other success along the way. Joe is fucking awesome.
And I said it on Twitter, Pluggo. During the match, I just said, Joe's been doing this shit for 20 years.
Yeah.
He's been doing this shit for 20 this good for 20 years everywhere. He should have beat Brock Lesnar. He should have beat Brock Lesnar.
He should have been a world champion in WWE at least once. Yeah,
absolutely. But he's been doing this shit for 20 years. This guy is an all-timer of the all-timers. And I'm glad that he's still, when he's around, AEW is still treating him this way and he's doing what he's doing.
And it doesn't hurt that you had Will Ospreay, one of the best to lace him up on the planet as well. So that helps. And then, like you said, Joe's a veteran of the game. He knows all the tricks, all the trades. It's crazy you brought the point about, leaving WWE twice. I remember one of the last memories I have of Joe in WWE is him in that rain delay, the poncho. Listen, WWE does a great job of making people seem like they got nothing left in the tank when they're about to get rid of them. And then they come out and like gangbusters, look like $1 million. I think it is a good use of Joe. I just was like, if he was gonna, I don't know if I would have thrown him in the Owen. I might, but that was just me.
I get
That's
that.
just me. But I love Samoa Joe. I love Will Ospreay. I love the little angle they ran last night with Ospreay as well. Sitting in the locker room after Double or Nothing.
Oh, great.
With Kenny. And I absolutely loved Ospreay going, Kenny's like, you have me, I'm here. And he goes, but you're not here. And I hope, and then Kenny goes, well, I can't be here every week. But I do hope in a weird way that kind of lights a little fire under Kenny to be like, yeah, maybe I do need to be here more. And so I love everything they're kind of doing with Ospreay and how he's getting pulled in different directions, but he's just chugging along, man. I thought it was good piece of business.
Yeah, I thought to open the when Moxley walked into frame, and
got skeletons. We all got skeletons.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, it's good advice. We all got," and he's looking right at Kenny. We all got our skeletons, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking money, dude! Like this is just these three guys, their history all centered around Will." I was like, "This is I love that thing to start the show last night. I thought it was great."
I will real quick to your point about the finishers, the kicking out of the finishers. I don't know why. Maybe when I saw Seth Rollins hit the pedigree the other day, and somebody kicked out of the pedigree, my first thought was, I bet Triple H is just pissed. Like small part of him's like, son of a bitch, that was my finisher back there. That ended.
I know it's the same thing.
Now it's a secondary move.
It's the same thing like with the tombstone. You know, it was like so sacrilegious for so long to ever not even kick out of it, but like to use it. You know, but as soon as these people retire, it's like wrestling it's just normal now for these moves to just turn into, and it's like the super kick with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it feels, and people do the stunner that doesn't win matches anymore now. I just feel like it's like that, like 20, 30 year, like the moves that were the finishers in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Now those are setup moves to the crazier fucking things that have been.
I'd like to see Seth win off a pedigree one time though, just for fun. Like, oh shit, it worked.
Yeah, just give Triple H in the back, like
it still has its power, baby. I'm surprised Triple H lets that happen.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing that. The funny thing is that he only had that as a finisher. I know he was Triple H's protege, not only in real life but on the show, like when he was in the Authority. But I think a lot of people forget the only reason why he had that as a finisher for a few years was because they banned the curb stomp for like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, which is so weird in retrospect. As Vince woke up one day, he's like, "Oh, these kids are going to be using it on each other," which is the stupidest thing ever. And
then had that negative connotation because of American History X and stuff like that.
So that's what I thought. You would think that, but I don't think that's why that would actually make sense. But if that was such a problem, then they wouldn't have allowed him to use it in the first place or bring it back. I think it's just because Vince is just weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Plus, that movie is well before Seth Rollins' time.
Yeah. That's one of the all-time great movies ever made. That's a great movie. Tremendous. We went right into the other men's quarterfinal after this match, and it was Swerve and it was Bandito, and these two guys did not disappoint either, as we would all expect. Very, very good match. This was the most I felt confident that Will and Swerve. This is what we're getting in the finals, guys. It's Will and Swerve. Like this is, of course, this is what we're getting. But this was really good. Bandito rules. One of the best wrestlers in the last couple years. This was excellent, man. I would love to see these guys fight some more. I know they were kind of building the feud a little bit before they were announced as opponents, so I wouldn't hate, something to come out of it maybe after and they continue to feud with each other. But this was awesome, Pluggo. I really like this match a lot.
Dude. They said when we were like, Swerve was one on TV, right? We're just like, holy shit, where's Swerve? And where's Swerve? And then he showed up in that Bandito vignette and burnt this. We're like, all right. And then they announced these brackets and they put this on, and that match had everything. Those two are fantastic. I mean, Bandito, I'm surprised for this. I still kind of underrated, right? Like, he had a hell of a 2025 where he was in the Wrestler of the Year conversation. I still thought people don't understand what this guy could do. And then you throw Swerve on top of it. That, like, he was like standing on his shoulders.
Yeah, the handstand kind of like.
It still got him with the. Oh, dude, I was just like, what a match, man. See, this is the firepower that I wish that women's Owen was having. They got to figure that out because it's stacked on this men's division. Even though my bracket has busted completely to smithereens because I had Joe winning, and then I had I had Claudio winning too.
Yeah.
But here we are, and I think I had Jack Perry winning as well.
Oh my God,
brother. We did see last night on Dynamite. Yeah, Mark Davis and Brody King won their matches. So
very good though.
Yeah, it was very good. So we do have our final four already on the men's side. We've only had one match on the women's side because everybody's banged up.
I think I only got Swerve. So thank you, Swerve, for putting on a banger with Bandito.
Yeah. Graham, what'd you think of this? The Swerve and Bandito.
Yeah, another awesome match. These guys can't do any wrong right now, really, in the ring. Swerve's been killing it this year as a heel. The matches he's been having with Brody King, Kenny Omega, now Bandito. I think this was their first match together, too. So didn't disappoint. My only real nitpick with this was that obviously Swerve had to win. He should have won. It's great seeing Bandito kill it in these pay-per-view matches. They kind of give him a win at one point. Also, what is weird to me is that he's the Ring of Honor World Champion. So you're basically telling everyone that belt does not matter. He constantly loses on television. He never wins. He lost to MJF. He lost to Andrade a few months ago. He's losing to Swerve here. All of those people should have beaten him, but he needs to win something of note eventually, or just take the Ring of Honor belt off of him. I know Ring of Honor is not a priority for Tony Khan. He clearly does not care enough about the brand, but it just sends the message. These things do not matter. So I don't know. It just feels like a prop at this point. So Bandito's amazing though. He's one of my favorite wrestlers, not only the company, but the world. He's just so fun to watch. I want to see them do a little bit more with him. It is great to see him in the single spotlight on AEW television, but he also has got to win at some point. Hopefully he does get that win down the road. But I thought this was great stuff. I agree.
That's one of the big problems I have with AEW that I kind of harp on is I don't know if I necessarily, which I enjoyed the ranking system. I don't know if I want them to go back to that hard and fast like they did early on, but there needs to be some more defined, because like you said, you got Kyle O'Reilly, who's a trios champ. He's fighting for singles gold. You got, the ROH champs taking losses, and it's just
it's just also too many belts too. I mean, that's also probably one of my biggest criticisms of the company.
They got to sort that mess out, because it doesn't make me listen as somebody that doesn't watch ROH because it's on while we're on here. I don't watch it live. It doesn't make me want to throw down $10 a month going, well, I just watched your champs take L's. Which again, we all know Swerve's fantastic. Swerve's the man. There's very few people on this planet that should beat Swerve, but optically, that's what it looks like.
I agree.
I fully agree. Then it was four-way time. AEW Women's World Championship. Tekla defeats Hikaru Shida, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander by pinfall. I liked this match a lot. I thought it was good. Tekla is awesome.
She's great.
I didn't see much of her before she showed up. I know I've said it a bunch, but she has impressed me so much. She's one of the best talkers. I want to hear her talk way more than they have her talk.
Yeah.
But can I just I want to hear what you guys thought of the match, but can I just tell you, last night on Dynamite / Collision, we had the lights out match that ended the show, and I thought that was great. They had light tubes. They had all sorts of shit going on in that match. Hikaru Shida is in this match, and Chris Statlander is about to win this match. Is Hikaru Shida just supposed to let Statlander... I understand she hit her with the kendo stick. She could have pushed her, I guess, off the pin or not hit her with the kendo stick. But the fact that they are using that as the heel turn for Shida irks me. She was just trying to not lose a title match she was in.
Yeah, I know.
That does not make sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is what I want. I want that feud. I want a non-title women's feud with two. That's what I want. The match last night I liked. But the fact that they were acting like this was the heel turn, it's she's in the match. She's supposed to stand there and let her win right in front of her. What are you talking about?
I agree. I think it was just more so the fact that she hit her with the kendo stick, like you said. But I just wish it was more clear, because it's it's a no disqualification match, and obviously she would break up the pinfall. So it wasn't a great look for Statlander.
All you got to do there is that's a quick backstage segment between tag partners where you just go.
I think they did. I don't want to say that they did, but I feel like I heard Statlander explain why she was upset about that in a promo when they were promoting.
I meant before the match where you just go, hey, I know we're team, but this is for the big goal. We got to do it.
Yeah, you know? But then we wouldn't get the big heel turn where it's like it's not a heel turn if she was already a heel.
Right.
So
it's not a heel turn if it's within the rules of the match.
I know. I agree.
You'll never convince me otherwise.
Yeah, it's just
Tony. I hope you're watching.
I'm sorry. Like I viewed that and I was like, yeah, I get it. She hit her with the stick, but like,
good on Tekla. I good on her to win this thing though. Like,
oh yeah,
it definitely solidifies a title reign where you just beat 3 former women's world champions, and it was a reign that I think a lot of us when she won it was very shocked that they pulled it off of Statlander that quick, and she's hit the ground running with it. And it's also a title reign that I think a lot of people didn't think was going to be very long. I think they were just like transitional, it's kind of a cool move, but she's been great and good for her, and more power to her. All these bitches in AEW, she just keeps beating them all. Those are her words, not mine. Those are her words. I respect all of the women in the division, but Tekla does not. She's awesome, dude. She's so good.
She's great.
She's so good. I completely agree with what you said before, JPJ, that I had no idea who she was before she showed up. Like, I don't watch Stardom. I'm familiar with some of the people there, but I had no idea who she was. And she's been fantastic. I mean, she also came in with, in my opinion, a terribly executed debut where like they had her attack Jamie Hayter, but like the way they filmed it was weird and the crowd didn't really care. It was really weird. But then it turned into a really good feud, and really ever since the Statlander feud where they've given her more mic time, like I think Triangle of Madness also adds to her aura, but it's the promos, man. I mean, the character is great, but she has a certain style about her, just that certain like je ne sais quoi, as they say, that you can't teach. And I don't know if anyone in that women's division has it except for maybe Mercedes Moné. Like I'm captivated by what, and honestly, even Mercedes' promos, I don't know if there's a hot take, are usually garbage. Like she's not a great talker. Tekla is easily the best female talker in that company. She is great. Give her more mic time. She wasn't even on last night. No idea why. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was again a fun 4-way, correct outcome. Give me more Tekla.
Yeah. I feel like, and again, I keep up with Collision, but I don't always watch Collision live. I feel like she gets to talk more on Collision than she does on Dynamite. Like, I feel like that's where a lot of the juice is for her, and it's like, that's cool. Like, I see the clips and I like it and all that, but like, put her on Dynamite. I want to see her more doing other stuff.
They can't. They only have only have time for a squash tag match.
Yeah. Listen.
I don't care.
Last night was a 3-hour show, which did a 30-minute run over. By the way, basically.
Yeah.
They ran over on Dynamite.
Okay. So again, and I'm not complaining about watching wrestling. We all love wrestling. I like watching, but it's a Wednesday night on the East Coast. And you're already taking me to 11, and then you have a 25-minute run over. You can't fit everything in 3 hours. That is insane.
That's stupid.
And then when you look at that and you give me a 3.5-hour show, yes, the main event was awesome. I liked it. Those girls killed it in that lights out match. The only other female representation is a 2-minute match that did absolutely nothing for anybody. You know how many people in the crowd cared that Ty J won that match? Fucking 0.
But shout out to our girl Allie Catch and Asa Everett though for getting some TV time. But other than that, I was like, because they do. And listen, you can tell, people can fight me till they're blue in the face and saying, well, they had the lights out, a 3-hour show. No, they break it down, Dynamite Collision. Because I watch it on the HBO app, and every time I'm in the main event, I have to click out of it and go to the Collision feed.
Yep.
Because it cuts it off. So it's 2 separate shows. They still treat it as 2 separate shows. So you can't give me that because again, and a lot of people probably know that's late for some people. They probably watched their Dynamite portion and clicked it off and watched Collision later. But I digress. We got to keep pushing. We're
we're good. So now it's time.
Graham's got to give us his top 10 New York Knicks before he gets out of here.
It's true. It's stadium stampede time. We saw the baby faces, Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, and the Elite get the victory over the Demand, the Callis family, and the Dogs. I thought this wasn't a shock of who won, but I mean, I was shocked that they did the whole thing live. I thought maybe we would get like a pre-recorded bit and then into the live thing that we've seen them do.
Mm-hmm.
But they did the whole thing live. It went for over 31 minutes. It was the longest match on the show. But like these matches, it was just a chaotic like it was just a good, fun, chaotic, just nonsense galore, Graham. It was just, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know what to get from these matches. I mean, I think they've done, if you count Anarchy in the Arena, they have probably done like 7 of these. I know they've done them at Double or Nothing every year since 2020, and they did one Stadium Stampede, the first All In, I think. So they've done a lot of them. I might be in the minority. I actually enjoy these matches more than Anarchy in the Arena. They're really all the same thing, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
But Anarchy in the Arena, for me, is almost too chaotic, where they're like, I don't know. I mean, this was kind of the same thing. I know what they're going for with like the playing the music in the background. I get it. The sickos love it. I understand that. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not even saying this is like my favorite match of the show or anything like that, but I thought for what it was fun. I thought they made the most of their time. It was a little too long. At 31 minutes, I would have trimmed off a couple minutes of that. And I just thought it was good. I liked it for what it was. We kind of figured who was winning. I thought the pre-match video with Jericho's team and the Metallica song.
Hilarious.
Honestly,
yes.
I like that more than even the match itself.
That was very good. That was very good.
This was enjoyable. I mean, Stadium Stampede it's what it is. You know what to get. And the crowd was certainly into it. So I don't have a lot of complaints here.
Yeah.
Did it help them out that they were handcuffed by the New York State Athletic Commission, where they couldn't? I don't want to say that like it would have been better or worse. I just think like without having no blood, you couldn't brawl in the crowd. There was a lot of rules put on it, so they had to get a little bit more creative in how they did it. Maybe that kind of helped them out a little bit, where they didn't have this free pass to go too far. Like you said, sometimes it's just crazy, chaotic, a huge mess, and they were like, well, we kind of have to stay in the pocket here with this match because it can't get out of control, and maybe that helped him out. Because I thought this was a good one. I thought this was great. I don't know. For some reason, though, I kind of would have liked to see the heels win this one. Just really like, because I get it. Jericho's back. Ricochet, that's really the reason that this match became what it became, was because of Jericho and Ricochet's beef. I really would have loved to see, like, Jericho still can't figure out Ricochet in this. You know what I mean? Like, just having that still be a thorn in his side coming into it. But, I digress. Yeah. I did pick the heels, I think, to win this thing. So, whoops.
Yep.
I suck at picks, man. I don't know why people have me on prediction shows, dude.
Ridiculous. How the hell did you win? How the hell did you win the Kicking Out Podcast Championship to begin with?
Well, I beat Shep.
Oh, it's true. That's fair. Yeah, and then it was main event time, World Championship time. Darby Allin.
I got this one wrong too.
Defending against MJF. The stipulation was if MJF lost, he would obviously have to shave his head bald. But nonetheless, we did not get to that because Maxwell Jacob Friedman, for the 3rd time, became AEW World Champion, defeating Darby Allin. Another good match. Listen, I said it last week. That all-time title reign in AEW for Darby Allin.
I agree.
Just tremendous stuff. Had it for 3.5 weeks, a month max. And he just had banger matches every single show. It almost felt like it was like the perfect title reign for Darby's character, that it's just a full-on sprint until he crashes into the wall. And the wall was Max. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman is once again the AEW.
And we're going to look back at Darby's title reign exactly like that. No matter what happens from here on out, we're going to go, say what you will about his career, but that 6-week run, he was putting on bangers, dude, and we're gonna be like, fuck yeah,
yeah.
Although I would have shaved MJF's head. I think you could have fed families with that.
Yeah, Pluggo was very into the possibility of MJF.
Graham. I almost called you Grant again. Graham. I even looked up hair restoration timelines on when it's acceptable to shave your head, and he was well past the cut. It's like 3 to 6 months. I think he's had it for a while.
Yeah.
It's a good match, though.
It's a good match. Darby, I did hear some rumors that he got injured in this match. So
he wasn't there last night, and we saw.
Hopefully, he's okay. But MJF's awesome. MJF's always going to be a guy that, like, you put the belt on him, you know what you're going to get. But yeah, I just really, for some reason, just like shaving his head, the visual of that, him having to come out on Dynamite with no, like, just there's a lot more we could have done with that. But hey, I have been wrong before.
Yeah.
Graham, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Three-time champ by the age of 30 or under. He mentioned it in his promo last night, like only 8 guys in history, and they're 8 of the biggest names you can imagine, have done that. He's been the breakout star of this company since the company's fruition. Already on pace to be an all-timer only at 30. He can do this for 25 more years if he so chooses, and I don't really see him slowing down anytime soon. One thing I do appreciate about AEW, about MJF when he is the champ, is he always has multiple guys going after him because he's the most hated guy there. So he always has, it's not just one, it's this guy over here wants him, this guy. I do appreciate that. Obviously, there's the post-match angle, which we'll get into for a few after this, but I thought this was a strong main event. I thought it was a fitting way for Darby's title reign to end. And I look at it in the future. I do think Will Ospreay is winning this title in All In. And to me, the most impactful guy he can beat is MJF. And I think we just kind of, we're back with MJF again as the top guy.
Yeah, I think what they've done really just in general with the world title this year since MJF got it back at World's End has been just fantastic. I mean, I don't think it's a stretch to say this is the strongest the world title picture has ever been in this company. I mean, you not only, like you just said, have multiple challengers coming from all angles, but I really do like the fact, and I'm not like a big hot potato kind of guy where you flip the belt back and forth, but it made sense here. Like Darby won in his hometown. He finally got that elusive win over MJF, and he didn't need to have a long run. He was literally champion for a month, for maybe 5 weeks, and he went in there and had 8 title defenses if you include the one against MJF. That is insane. And all of those matches were good to great. And that wasn't sustainable for him to defend it every week, but we may never see that again, honestly. Like, we never see that sort of stuff. And I thought the story they told was great. The overarching message that Darby's just an idiot who wants to defend the belt every week, and he's going to do it until the wheels come off, and they did. It was a lot of fun. And I thought, again, for as predictable as it wasn't like there was still a chance, like you said, Pluggo, that MJF could walk out bald. Fun with that. And he could have made it work. I'm fine that it didn't. Because MJF is just the guy right now, and there's more stories to tell him as champion. Really like the match. I think these two just have great chemistry dating back to that opener at Full Gear 2021. And I liked what they did on Dynamite with the title change last month. I know it was very polarizing, and I get why, but we didn't really get much of a match between the two. It was honestly more of an angle than anything. So we got the match here, and it was great. And the post-match thing with Kevin Knight was really well done. I will say this, though. MJF and Ospreay seems like the way that they want us to think it's going. But I mentioned the hot potato, like Attitude Era-esque title changes because I honestly do think after what we saw last night, and I was already thinking this before the pay-per-view.
I know what you're going to say.
Omega's going to take that title at Redemption. And I think we're going to get Omega and Ospreay at All In. Now, that begs the question, what do you do with MJF? Which I completely agree with. I don't know. But I think... And I don't necessarily disagree with this. I get keeping the belt on MJF until then. 1, he only just lost it and got it back. And 2, it's kind of weird that you would build around him all year and he's not in your main event. But at the same time, to me, we already got MJF and Ospreay All In 2 years ago, albeit for the international title, but they already did it at Wembley. Omega and Ospreay, it's been a little bit longer since we've seen that match. And it's still tied 1-1. Like, they haven't had that rubber match yet. So you could say the same thing with MJF and Ospreay. But I liked the idea of Omega finally getting that moment. Because if he doesn't win it at Redemption, and that's kind of the whole story for him is Redemption, I don't know if he'll ever win it again. So he can win it again, hold it for a month, lose it to Ospreay. He gets his hometown moment. Everyone's getting their friggin' hometown moment, I guess. You can't do that all the time, but I think it works here. So regardless, I'm excited to see where this goes. I like this main event. They're killing it right now with this world title scene. The best it's ever been by far.
Is there any triple threat possibilities? They don't do that a lot for the AEW World Title where they make it. Could you see a Omega, Ospreay, MJF scenario somewhere that way? I liked what you said, but I was just curious, is there a way to get there that I'm just not thinking on surface level where we go all in MJF, Ospreay, Omega, 3 of the biggest names in the company? Just, at the biggest show of the year.
You could. I only didn't say that, but I was thinking that too. I mean, obviously MJF won the belt in the 4-way a few months ago, so it's not like we haven't seen one in a while.
Yeah.
I just think for what I would perceive to be their biggest show is All In, you would want and that is a logical match to do, but I just think a singles match, even if it was MJF and Ospreay, honestly, has more juice than doing any sort of a multi-man match. And honestly, at some point, it's not going to happen at All In. But I think there should be a pay-per-view at some point where we get, like I mentioned, like the Attitude Era, where the belt was constantly changing hands amongst all these like big-time players. And it made sense most of the time, and the people loved it and made the shows more exciting. You can't do that all the time, but for like a year-long period, it works. There should come a point where they do like, not the exact same thing, but like an Armageddon Hell in the Cell match. We only got it once, and we never got it again. In AEW, some sort of a six-pack challenge for that title with those three that you just mentioned, Pluggo, and then you throw in Swerve, throw in whoever else, I think that would work. But I got to think more about who MJF would face if he would not be in that title mix. Because if I can't come up with a name, then honestly, a 3-way might be the way to go.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a point, real quick. There's gonna be a point where the Ospreay Omega thing hits ahead, and Ospreay's gonna have to make a choice too. So
yeah, I think they'll do Ospreay and Moxley. Honestly, a redemption. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was under the impression that when Will wins the title
or that
at All In, Moxley drops him and says, "All right, last test, kid. It's me." That's kind of like that's how
he does that. He does that. He's like, let's go.
Yeah, and then you build to maybe Moxley and Will for the title at All Out, which is or whatever. Because when Will came back a couple months ago, he lost to Moxley in that first pay-per-view match. So you can say, hey, Moxley's like, all right, I taught you how to get here. Now you got to beat the master at doing it. And then I think that's Moxley kind of not passing the torch, but like Will's the next, Mr. AEW kind of guy, Moxley, yeah. But obviously the angle before we finish up our Double or Nothing, the angle, it looked like Max was going to injure Will after the match. He was going to hit him with the belt and stuff like that. Kevin Knight comes running down. He chases Max in literally the longest way you could ever chase him to not catch him ever, Kevin Knight. And Max runs off. Kevin Knight,
because it was all a ruse. It was part of the plan.
Darby's on a stretcher at this point. Max had already stepped on Darby, holding the title. Darby's on a stretcher. He's right around ringside. Kevin Knight runs off MJF. MJF's looking at him, and Kevin Knight all of a sudden looks down at Darby. And I'm drawing a blank on his finishing move's name, but he hits the spinning splash. UFO. The UFO. He hits the UFO on Darby Allin on top of the stretcher, lands on his feet, and Darby doesn't get knocked over. Just tremendous execution by Kevin Knight. And then he shoves Darby over on the stretcher, and Kevin Knight. And then we saw last night on Dynamite, he attacked Speedball when Speedball confronted him at the beginning of the show. We're getting that TNT title match next week on Dynamite. It's going to kick all sorts of ass. Out of nowhere. I kind of had been leaning that Knight would maybe turn heel on Speedball somewhere down the line. I did not expect it to be in this moment to end this show. Just out of nowhere for me, but I thought it was good. I loved the promo he cut to start Dynamite last night. I mean, Kevin Knight's a can't-miss guy, either way you slice it. But I thought this was an unexpected big angle to end the show.
Yeah, no, an amazing angle. I was not expecting this. I mean, they kind of sort of subtly hinted at Kevin Knight turning on Speedball at the end of Dynamite last week, where he was kind of given – just heel vibes a little bit. I didn't think they would actually do it because also Kevin Knight's a natural babyface, I think. Yep. And I don't know. It was just, I thought it was shocking. We'll see where it goes. Already he's fitting into the role well. I just thought he was getting over as a babyface, so I don't know that I would have done that necessarily, but it seems like they have a plan for him. He's got Speedball waiting in the wings. You got him and obviously him and Darby at some point, whether it be redemption or All In, or depends how long Darby's gone for, but no, a great ending. Again, the cherry on top of an already excellent show. That we had another betrayal. We already had, the Fletcher return attacking Takeshita earlier. And we got this too. And it wasn't like it was too much. It was just the right amount. So, no, really good angle to close the show. I agree.
Yeah, he played it perfectly, like between Double or Nothing and last night. And it's like, I honestly, I was sitting there a couple weeks ago when Speedball was out. He had that quick squash, and then Kevin had the open challenge, and then Speedball jumped up on the ropes as they were announcing it. I was like, maybe it's Speedball. Because, again, you get this tag team that I think they were thrown together because they had that tag tournament, right?
Yeah.
So they threw this JetSpeed tag team together, and they both, both reached heights. They both had Speedball had bangers in the Continental Classic. Kevin Knight's. So this success in this just competitive rivalry, and I think Kevin Knight was just like, I got to start, if I want to, I think in storyline he's going, I see the landscape here. Like you said, hottest white hot world title picture of all time. At any point, those guys could drop down, and he's like, I got to just do what's best for me. And I'm excited. I'm very excited for it. I think he just looks like he fits that role like a glove. Yep. And then Speedball is going to play the perfect foil to this. I don't think next week's going to be a banger. I think Kevin Knight's going to do some heel shit, and then we're going to get a banger at the next pay-per-view.
I could see that, yeah.
They don't do that a lot either, where it's really like, I think you're going to get a good 5-10 minutes, and it's going to be a good match, and then all of a sudden, Kevin's going to bail on it or do some heel shit to get disqualified, and Speedball's going to lose his mind. But I'm here for it. I think that these two are going to have a hell of a time, man.
It should be good.
You should want to leave. That's the thing. You should want to leave these pay-per-views, and that's always been my biggest issue this past year with WWE pay-per-views, is they never leave me going, I gotta tune in Monday, because they never leave it going, oh shit, but AEW nothing. You're like, shit, I gotta hear what Kevin Knight has to say on Wednesday. What the hell was that? Why did you do that? And I don't know if it's because it's on the WWE's on 3 different channels, so they don't want to promote, like, tune into Netflix on ESPN, right?
Yeah.
But they never leave me going, oh shit, man.
Yeah.
But I felt I felt that way on Double or Nothing. I'm having trouble speaking. Let's talk about WWE pay-per-views.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's
what a terrible way for me to promote the Clash in Italy this Saturday or Sunday, guys.
I think a lot of people are feeling a certain way about it. Is what it is. But you said that, and you said WWE hasn't left you a ton at the end of the shows, being like, well, are we gonna see them leave us that way on Sunday? Because I think they have a couple opportunities to really change, shuffle some stuff around and really change some stuff. Obviously, this is happening in Italy. It will be starting 2 p.m. Eastern time. Love it. Love a Sunday afternoon pay-per-view.
Yeah,
that's going to be a lot of fun. There's 5 matches on the card. 4 of them are title matches. Let's start. We talked about it earlier. We are getting the official rematch. It's Becky versus Sol Ruca. IC title on the line. I would have been under the impression that Sol would have won the non-title match last week, and that led to I would have had Sol go over actually and beat Becky for the title. I'm hoping the things that we've seen, kind of being a little off, doesn't affect that, because I really do feel like Sol hasn't won a match. Well, I mean, technically she won by DQ, but Sol really hasn't won a match since she's been up there. Yeah. I feel like she should win this match, even though it hasn't been the cleanest. You
can't have every new call up hit the ground absolutely running and firing all cylinders. But we'd already seen Sol put out, the Saturday night's main event, John Cena's last match. That's why she had so much buzz about her. I'm just surprised that they went this decision. I wouldn't be shocked if she did win at Clash. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, you know what, we understand that those flubs happen, but we're gonna go for it. Becky can go do some other things, but I'm still picking Becky. But yeah, this Sol booking so far has just been kind of head scratching to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the feud. I like the idea of the feud. What we got at Saturday night's main event didn't overly bother me because I knew what they were going for. I just thought it was poorly executed. I am surprised that they're running it back so quickly after that show and they're not giving it more time to breathe. And, Becky saying, well, she didn't actually beat me, so I'm not going to give her a title shot. Like, they probably should have done something like that. Yeah, I don't know if I would have her win her first win of the main roster. I don't know if it should be for the championship. That also begs the question, well, when is she going to win a match? I mean, if she's just going to keep losing or winning by DQ. So it is, don't want to say it's a lose-lose. Even if Becky wins, cheats to win, I think both women will be fine. I'm going to say Sol Ruca loses here. Becky retains the title. You keep the feud going regardless. Sol should take that title from Becky. I just say it's a little too soon to be pulling the trigger. She just arrived in the main roster a month ago.
Yeah.
I'll go Becky here, but hopefully it's via nefarious means in a way where they could set up a rematch, but also give Soul some wins in the meantime in order to earn another opportunity at the title and then eventually win it.
Yep. I don't hate that.
She's got to show the WWE Universe something too, because there's a lot of people going, yeah, the few spots you had, didn't go well. So I don't hate it.
We then have a singles match, the only non-title match on the show. It is a rematch, the biggest rematch of all time. They're phrasing it. It is Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar.
It's Oba and Brock 2. Put some respect on it. Jeez, Paul Heyman says to be the greatest match of all time.
Yeah, I don't want to put respect on it because they're gonna actually have Oba Femi lose this fucking match.
No.
Yes, they are.
No.
Yes, they are.
No.
He's gonna lose this one, and then he's gonna
retire. You're a terrible person for putting that in the ether.
Listen. To me, it felt like we were getting, I guess SummerSlam's a ways away, but we were getting Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam. We still can, I guess, but they moved Gunther over to SmackDown now. We're going to talk about that match later. I think Gunther has a chance to be leaving this show with gold for the SmackDown brand. So we're not going to get to that. So it feels like they're just saying, no, we're going to have Oba be the guy that actually retires you now. And the only way they're going to do that in SummerSlam is if Brock fucking beats him. And it's going to be dumb as shit.
You're telling me there's not a world where Brock Lesnar could just be absolutely like, he could be like, oh my God, I've lost this guy twice. I can't figure him out. I'll put my career on the line for the third one.
Maybe. But I think
it would be, I'd be bad.
I feel the way you feel. I don't think that should
happen.
happen.
That's why we brought you here today. Not to talk about Knicks basketball, but to make this make sense.
I have reservations. I think Brock is going to go over here, and I am vehemently against it.
I honestly feel like this is a lose-lose because I think what they did at WrestleMania was so perfect. The build was so perfect. And they stuck the landing.
Best build on the card.
It was the best thing on the best built match. I mean, the match was really not much of a match, but like Oba winning the way that he did was perfect. I genuinely don't see how even having Femi beat him again would make Femi look any more of a star than he already is. Or if they do the opposite, I'm not saying Brock should win. I don't even think this match should be happening. Like, I know like it's an attraction for the show. I am intrigued to see how they handle this shit. If Brock wins and Femi loses his first match to Brock, I mean, he won't he won't be killed off or anything, but it's just stupid. And then, as you said, that the third match will very likely happen at SummerSlam. But why? Like, what is the point? We already saw Brock kind of fake retire at WrestleMania. To then do an actual retirement SummerSlam is just stupid. Like, Oba gains nothing. Honestly, to me, it's just a waste of time. This just feels like a waste of time. And what makes me more frustrated is that Oba should be entering and winning that King of the Ring tournament and challenging for a world title at SummerSlam. Bro, if they put the world title on him a month after he beat Brock, I don't think anyone would have complained. That's how white hot he was.
He was the hottest act coming out of WrestleMania. And I get it. They build their storylines. You do build storylines for the future. They knew he was going to be a star, but I don't even think they thought he was going to be the biggest guy. You should have strapped the Rock because it should be him and Roman at SummerSlam. And I don't think that's what we're getting. And we've seen they did the challenge, which lasted 3 weeks, clearly wasn't working. So they said, Brock, let's go.
Because they didn't know what to do with the guy.
Yes, because they're like,
that dude gets a pop, and when he's not even there. They mentioned his name at Saturday Night's Main Event, and the arena started chanting Oba. That dude just is.
But you know what's going to happen?
Crazy.
A couple months from now, they're not going to be doing that if they keep on going the route they're going. Now, he is so white hot and was so white hot coming out of Mania. I think it would take a lot for him to not be white hot. But if you can't, I don't care what stories you have. When something like that happens, you need to say, fuck it. We got to go with this. And you can't hide this guy from the world title for a year. You can't. He needs to get there and get there soon. And if you're it's just once they announced the Obafemi challenge, we were on here, Pluggo, and we said they got no fucking. This was not in the plans for. It wasn't the plans for him to obviously beat Brock and be a superstar. It was not in the plans for him to be the most overact in the company right away.
I wouldn't be shocked if they knew what they had in Oba, sure, and then this build to WrestleMania happened, and it just hit like lightning in a bottle, and they were like, "Oh shit, we got to capitalize on this Oba guy." And let's do this, and then I just think that they just didn't realize how high of an ascension he would have so quickly. Like, it's rare to see. So, I wouldn't be opposed to Brock retiring here after 2 losses to Oba and officially retiring, but I hope you're wrong, man. I'm going to stick to my guns. I hope Oba wins. I'm going to pick with my heart on this one.
That's fine.
I don't want to be sitting here Sunday night pissed off.
We are.
Are you coming with?
Oh no, I got to work early on Monday, but
it's at 2 o'clock.
Well, it's in the afternoon. Yeah, maybe. I might.
Okay.
But I don't know. I said it at Mania because I had nerves that they were going to have Brock win at Mania because I just have old WWE booking brain sometimes and I get nervous. And I said that would probably be it for me. I thought if Brock would have beat him at Mania, I might have been done.
Did too. Because I might have been done. The show on Thursday. I'm out.
I might be done with WWE. I'm not there with.
Graham might have been hitting you up to be the new co-host.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just very nervous.
Your beard's looking good today, dude.
I'm just very nervous. It does look nice. That they're gonna do Oba dirty here. But anyway.
Oh, I hope you're wrong. Anyway,
we have a singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. It is a rematch from WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley defending against Jade Cargill. We saw Jade get the pinfall victory at Saturday night's main event. I actually thought that one of Jade's better matches, if not her best match in WWE, was that match with Rhea at Mania. I thought it was really good.
I agree.
I think this is a perfect slot for a rematch here, but Rhea's retaining. I don't think Jade will win. I would like to see it. I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but Rhea just got that thing. She's not losing that thing. But I expect another good match from these two.
Yeah, I think the same. Honestly, I could see Jade. This is a very unpredictable show, honestly. Like, they could go, pretty much every match on the show could go either way, which is good, but it's also scary because, like we talked about Oba and Brock, it's like, okay, they could do some dumb stuff on this show too and get people even more frustrated coming out of this. But yeah, as far as this match is concerned, the predictable outcome would be Rhea Ripley retaining. I could see Jade maybe getting the belt back because they did tease Jade and Charlotte in that 6-woman tag at Saturday night's main event. Because then it begs the question, if Rhea retains, which I think she will, and I think she should, not that what Jade does, but like for Rhea, you have JC. So we know that they were really heating her up, probably more than they expected coming out of WrestleMania with how over she got pretty quickly. Like, what's the SummerSlam match? I don't know if JC and Rhea, or if they're even on SummerSlam. I don't know. I could see them wanting to put the belt back on Jade so she could face Charlotte, honestly. And then Rhea goes off and does something with Fatal Influence outside of the title picture. I would be okay with that. With all of that said, I still think Rhea retains. And I'm expecting another quality match based on what they did at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Could you see a world where, like you said, Jade and Charlotte, there's the numbers game with BFAB and Michin. Does Charlotte and Alexa come out to offset that and help out? And maybe, because there was a little, they still tease a little tension with Charlotte and Rhea. Not as much. It's more playful because they're all baby faces at this point. But at any point, they could flip the switch there. We could get Rhea and Charlotte at SummerSlam if they're not fully believing in Jade, which was crazy to me because that was a really good match on Saturday night's main event. So I'm torn here too. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they put it back on Jade, but it's hard to bet against Rhea Ripley. And then you could always insert Rhea Ripley and Jade, Charlotte. You go down the list and it's a money match for your world title at SummerSlam. But I'm being on the fence here. I got to make an actual pick. I'll take Rhea.
Yeah.
And I say that like I don't love Rhea Ripley, right? Like I'm like, I'll take Rhea. But we'll see. And Jade's so good, though. She's gotten so much better, and I don't think people are giving her due. Like, she's been playing the role really well. So
yeah, agreed.
Jade and Charlotte would be money, though. Is that a SummerSlam?
I think so. If you go that route, I think that's a SummerSlam match.
I agree.
For sure.
Is there anything in between this and SummerSlam that I'm not thinking about?
We have
SummerSlam is early August. It's like August 1st.
So they have a Saturday night's main event in July.
In New York, Madison Square Garden, yeah.
Yes, because it's the same weekend.
So that's going to be a
Fanatics
big
Fest.
one. Yeah.
So they're doing that July 18th.
With the world champion New York Knicks.
Yeah. Hey, we'll say probably not, but
Brunson's going to be in the house with that title.
Well, Brunson still might be in the house, but they ain't going to be holding no trophy.
Probably not. But they also have a Night of Champions at the end of June in Saudi. So
okay. So there's a couple of places that you could maybe even do some of those matches. Okay. Like you could do maybe like Rhea and Charlotte at like the Saudi show or something. I just at some point I feel like this Alexa Rhea Charlotte thing is gonna because it's just too easy. It writes itself. Charlotte Flair, that's what she does, you know?
Yeah. Agreed. All right. We have we'll start with the undisputed WWE Championship. It is Cody Rhodes defending against Gunther. We saw Gunther go back to the blue side on SmackDown in the last month. He attacked Cody, and we have built to this world title. I look at these two title matches for the men, and I feel like one of these titles needs to change hands minimum.
Mm-hmm.
One of them needs to.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think it should happen in the other one that we'll talk about last, but I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, every match on this show is can go either way. Yeah. I'm a big Gunther guy. I think Cody is still obviously the main guy, QB1. He's still over as hell, but I think Cody could use a little bit of a freshening up, and maybe him chasing the title again is that freshening up. Gunther obviously would make a great – we've seen him as a world champion. He's, I don't know. I just feel like one of these titles needs to change hands. I'm torn which one it will be. I'm picking Cody to retain here just because we'll talk about the other match next. That's where I'm leaning, but I feel like one of these guys is not leaving as the champ. So –
yeah, this is difficult. This is another one of those matches, like with Oba and Brock, where I feel strongly that Gunther should take the title here for a few reasons. One, you build up this guy for like 8 months as the career killer, beating Cena in his last match. AJ Styles, Goldberg, beats Rollins at Mania, has not lost since SummerSlam to CM Punk. And then he just loses to Cody like, 1, 2, 3. It's like it feels like a filler feud before Randy Orton comes back. That's the problem to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gunther's got to win this, though. I mean, also, if you have Cody win, and that's my pick, but if you have Cody win, then it also adds to the fatigue that fans already have for Cody Rhodes. I mean, it was already pretty strong coming out of Mania when he beat Randy. It will be even worse if he beats Gunther, because Gunther really should be beating Cody. And it goes back to what we said about AEW. I think they can afford to switch the belt back a few times. They already did it with Drew. Like, Drew won it for a month or two. Cody got it back. Cody doesn't need to win it 5 times in the year. I really just think Gunther should be champion. I just don't get the vibe from watching SmackDown in recent weeks that it's going to happen, at least not on this show. So I really want Gunther. I think Cody will win, though, unfortunately.
It's because nobody wants to make pasta with the guy that lost the world championship at Clash at Italy. What do you do?
You think you can buy that they make pasta with? It's probably going to be like Nathan Frazier or something.
I just joked that if you wanted to ride Cody's tour bus, you could make pasta with him. Yeah, I always err on the side of the Cody. I always they want these shows to be great, especially these international shows. And white meat babyface Cody, hold up the title with the pyro in the background. But I'm getting Cody fatigue, and it's not because Cody's bad, right? He's not doing anything wrong. It's just he does the same thing, and a little bit of a summer chase where he's chasing a guy like Gunther who's been positioned as this guy that, quite frankly, people can't figure out. He's a career killer now. He's, why not have Cody chase Gunther? Cody and Gunther at SummerSlam, the rematch. Why not? That'd be cool. That's a good. I'm going to take Gunther because I think you guys are crazy. No, I'm going to take him just to be different because we can't all pick the same thing. But
I appreciate the optimism.
It's probably going to be Cody, but I'm going to roll with Gunther on this one just because I don't think what Jay thinks is going to happen is going to happen.
Well, I don't know which one. I assume this one will main event the show. It is Tribal Combat for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is Roman Reigns once again
family business.
Taking on Jacob Fatu. I think there is potential for a huge angle here. Again, that would be me relying on WWE Creative, which a lot recently I feel like has not just been hitting. But one thing I did not like was in the segment on Monday, Jacob Fatu was talking about, I'm going to be this guy. People are going to look at me and the family differently. He goes, whether I win or lose. And when he said that, I went, son of a bitch.
And he goes, I still got a job. I go, fuck.
I go, yeah. I'm like, no. You need to do not even talk about losing. Do not. So that made me go, I don't know. I feel like the Usos are going to align with Jacob. I feel like they've been teasing that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You had the first match. Roman wins. Cool. You build to the second match. It's tribal combat. That means anything goes. Bunch of bullshit's going to be happening. I put it on Jacob, and then I have Roman win it back at SummerSlam. And that's just kind of Roman goes away for a few weeks. He's now booked in June a little bit, but he originally was not booked in June at all. In June at all. I thought maybe the Usos turn on him. They align with Jacob. You cement. And again, Jacob is a guy that doesn't need a long title run, but if you put the title on, you officially make him like he is because Jacob is the guy. When Roman is already part-time-ish, when Roman really is kind of gone in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, Jacob is the single Samoan superstar that is going to carry that family for the next decade in WWE. Like, he is that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can really cement him as that guy, even if it's only for a month till SummerSlam, by putting that fucking title on him. And I think you can tell a cool story with the Usos. And because if you look at the SmackDown, and I know SmackDown's tough to watch, if you look at the SmackDown promos where in the first lead up,
the
promos that Jacob and Usos were having over there was not really about Roman. It was about their relationship and their dynamic. And I just think they're going to align with Jacob at some point. And I think you do it here. You put the title on Jacob. Roman goes away, comes back, wins it back at SummerSlam, and that's what you should do. That's at least me. It's probably not going to happen. Roman will probably just retain, and that'll be that. But that's what I think they should do, Graham. That's what I think they should do.
No, I think they should do that too. I mean, if it was up to me, I would have Oba win on this show. I would have Gunther win on this show.
Yeah.
And I would have Fatu win on this show. But we know this company likes to play it safe. We will be lucky if we get any of those outcomes, let alone all three. I think Roman Reigns retains. I think
would be happy with just one of those. That's how crazy it is. We'd be like, oh, they pulled off one of the three.
I know. Yeah. I would be happy with just one because any one of them would be a big W for any one of those guys. And really for the fans too, just to shake things up, honestly, just to shake things up. If you have all three win, doesn't send a great message about the company going into the summer season. But yeah, it's just with Fatu, I think the feud's been good. I think it's a great spot for him to be in. My problem is that he's been laying out Roman at literally every turn for 2 months, about a month and a half now. How do you not have him win? Like, again, like at Backlash, I get it. But like if he loses to him twice, it sends the message he can't get the job done. And I don't even know what you do with the guy. And again, going back to what we said about Cody and Gunther, I think they can afford to take the belt off of Roman. Dude, they could give the belt right back to Roman and Night of Champions. I think Fatu should at least win it once from Roman. And I think otherwise it just completely kills his momentum. And I know Roman said at WrestleMania in the post show, I'm here for the summer. Okay. He doesn't have to be champion the whole time though. They don't even have to run it back at SummerSlam. They could run it back before then if they wanted to. So it depends on what they have planned for the world title scene. But yeah, I mean, Roman winning LOL is not like the worst thing ever. I just don't really see what that accomplishes other than just keeping Roman busy. But again, it's one of those things where maybe they plan for Roman to beat him and then just move on and have it be a filler feud. But Fatu has kind of gotten over on another level than they were expecting. Yeah, he's just a big star. Yeah, I would capitalize on then have him win. But I think Roman wins LOL, like I said.
The WWE does. I think we can all agree that they do a fantastic job of building up the guy, the challenger. Because I don't know how many times we've been like, yeah, this is the spot. This is the spot with X, Y, and Z. And then they just, for some reason, they get us to the finish line and they won't pull the trigger on it.
Yeah.
And the Fatu thing is interesting to me because they're talking, like, Pierce is talking more like, the only reason that you're here, you should be fired, is because Roman is keeping you here for these matches.
Yeah.
So like if he doesn't, if you're gonna go to that length with the firing angle and like this guy should be out of here, he's got to win it. Like you've got to shock us all and go, oh shit, the guy that Pierce wanted to fire last week, that Roman, you kept him here. This is on you. Because then you could tell that story with Roman, Pierce, and being like, obviously, I think if Roman loses it, he'll go away for a little bit and do his SummerSlam return thing. But you got it right there. Just pull the trigger and say, again, and they're going on the overseas run here. He'd be over as hell in those crowds. Those crowds would be hot for it. They'd still be hot for Roman if he was a part of that thing. I just think that you got it lightning in a bottle again with Fatu, and he's really hit the ground running. And at some point, we've got to start putting some new into that, like rotating.
Eight
guys, about 8 guys. And Fatu's here. Boom, give them a shot, try it out. The problem that they have is the reason that they don't do it is because there's always another show that they're trying to. There's always another show that they're trying to blockbuster build to, and they're like, Roman Reigns is a huge name, and he is by all respect. But it wouldn't kill him to chase a little bit. He did a great job chasing Punk at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I just view it, and they've had opportunity here over the last, they had an opportunity to rocket Braun Breaker, and they didn't, and they cooled him down. Yeah, he got hurt, but he was cooling down before he got hurt. They had an opportunity to make him the guy. You're seeing it with Oba, and then you have right now, Jacob Fatu's been over for a year and a half, and he's arguably,
and these fans want these guys.
And the fans they're cheering for him more than they're cheering for Roman. That is just, and he's supposed to be this evil savage that doesn't care about his family. But guess what? Every time they're doing a segment together, the crowd's chanting Fatu. They're not chanting OTC, but they're chanting for Fatu. All right? Like, just at some point, you got to fucking do it. You just got to do it. I don't want Fatu to be another guy that it's like, we all know, the wrestling fans that watch the product all know that you should put this title on him and, cement him as one of your future and current guys. But we know you're not going to do it. And then it's like, okay, well, again, I think the match will be fun. I think the show has the possibility to be a really, really good show on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
But if we leave this show and Cody is still the champion and Roman is still the champion, that is a fail to me, because that is another show where it's like, all right, even though the matches are great, same old shit. And I think that's been going on for a year now. Same old shit.
We need a third world title.
We need something. But
we need more world titles. Bring them in, more titles for everyone. No, I'm just kidding. That's a good and bad problem to have. It's a great problem to have all these new up and coming guys and gals that you're like, okay, but it becomes a problem when you don't pull the trigger on them and you just go, we're going to keep with the old reliables. At some point, you got to try something new. You gotta. What would a month of Jacob Fatu being world champion be like?
Yeah.
Like, the way that you've positioned this guy for the last 6 weeks has been like unstable, absolutely wild, can't be tamed by any. Could you imagine he's your world champ and then you're doing everything you can as a show to try to get it off of him?
Mm-hmm.
That's more interesting than Roman winning at Clash and going, well, I'm taking June off.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know if he is or not anymore. I know that there was a rumor that he was taking June off. They put him back on. I don't know, but
I think he's advertised. He's advertised for Raw on that Monday.
Yeah, I think he's going. I think he's going overseas for at least a little bit of the overseas.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and listen, if Roman Reigns is going to be there all summer and he's going to be a fighting champion, cool. But I'm just saying, Fatu, that would be something that makes me go, I gotta see Monday night.
That's
what I need. I need
if Clash in Italy ends with Fatu and the Usos standing over Roman and Fatu, you are watching Raw the next afternoon. You are going tomorrow.
If Roman wins, you're going.
See what happens.
I catch the highlights. Granted, we're going to watch because we're crazy people, but I mean, like, again, I'm talking about the casual viewer. But overall, I think the matches are going to be fun. I think Clash will be fun matches. I hope the outcome's a little.
I just want them to. I just want to. I don't want to leave another big show where they're again, Cody and Gunther is a matchup I really want to see. I've been digging Roman and Jacob. Sol and Becky proper is a match I want to see. I just don't want to leave another show going, okay, like, I want to leave a show and being how I felt at the end of Double or Nothing is how I want to feel at the end of this show. And I feel like we're, you know, a lot of times we're going, oh, that was a good show, but you know, same old. But
yeah.
All right. On that note, we did run a little bit over. We want to thank you for your extra time you gave us tonight, Graham. Always good to have you on the show.
Nick's top 10. Nick's top 10. Larry Johnson.
Grandmama.
John Starks. Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing is the first name that should come out of your mouth. How is it not? And I would tell you, Jalen Brunson already on that list. Regardless, we're not going to go through that.
All right, we're not.
They don't deserve it. When they win the championship, maybe, but they're not going to, so we'll be fine. But Graham, thank you again for joining us, spending a little overtime with us as we had a lot of wrestling to cover and talk about. Let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up and all that good stuff, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate the time as always, guys. Always a blast to chat with you here on Between Two Beards. It's been too long, and I'm glad we can work this out and schedule some time here today. So chat a lot of wrestling. Like I said, pick the perfect week with all the shows that we had to talk about,
for sure.
But also with the Knicks winning. But I digress. You can find me on Wrestle Rant, Bleacher Report, all the good places. Just search me up, Graham GSM Matthews. X is usually the best place to find me, but I'm all over the place. So, thanks again, guys. Great time as always. And JPJ, I hope to see you at Slammiversary potentially next month.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know if you're planning on going down. I will hopefully be there. So we should definitely link up like we usually do. I
look forward to it. Awesome.
All right. Yeah. Pluggo, do the dang thing, and we can get out of here, man.
Yeah. No. You can find me at Pluggo on all social media platforms. Sure, Pluggo. My face pops up. That's where I'll be. I will be no for exposure this weekend because I am going to a wedding with Mrs. Pluggo. So I'm going to have a little date night instead.
Enjoy.
The kids, no kids. It's going to be wild. I haven't had that happen in a while. But I will be on the Main Event Wrestling Net Sunday morning, 10 a.m. doing the mixer for Clash in Italy. And then I will be here doing the post show on Love Wrestling. I don't know who's joining me yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. Maybe JPJ will pop in depending on if Roman wins or not. But you can find us at B2 Beards on all social media platforms. You search B2 Beards. That's us. Just know what we got going on, what we got coming up. It's a busy summer. We got a lot of things happening, so you'll want to stay tuned to all the socials for that.
Yeah. And you can follow me right here, JPJ Loves Gaming, on all social media platforms. You can find me here, like he just said, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for Between Two Beards, the flagship show right here at Love Wrestling. You can also find me Sunday afternoons, noon Eastern time on Fightful Overbooked with Auntie Collins doing Coast to Coast. But yeah, you can follow me here. You'll find out where else I'm doing on the weeks. My schedules usually come out on Monday and all that fun stuff. So appreciate everybody in the chat hanging out tonight. Graham, appreciate you as always coming on. We got to do it a little bit more often if we can swing it.
Yeah,
definitely. Thank you for joining. Thank you to everybody. You all know the drill. Enjoy LPW tonight on this channel right when we sign off. Enjoy LPW 48 tomorrow night. And then enjoy Clash in Italy this weekend. And we will see you all next week. But until then, you know the drill. Say hi to Sue. Peace out.
Nice. Sue, give us your next top 10.
Hey there, PLUGGO and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. Get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you Two Beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourselves. Knock it off.